And what's going on, Gorehounds? Welcome to another episode of the Gore More Podcast. I'm your not-so-mean Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, bringing this shit show in. However, I don't bring this shit show in alone. For with me, as always, are my beloved horror brethren, which I need to flip around here a little bit. There we go. Oh. Started off with that Chad Daddy, that Dark Lord of Knowledge, that Chattahoochee, Mr. Chad Chrisman.
What's up, bitches?
What's up, homie? And we have that beloved Meat Mountain, that killing machine, Mr. Bobby Amone.
Good evening, motherfuckers. It is Monday. We are almost into the month of October. Thank God.
Yeah, you know what? I'm already going to say it because for us horror nerds and you alike, we're already in spooky season. We don't need to say that.
We're all, the three of us, we're always in spooky season. You know?
No, I know, but even still, like societal norms at this point, dude, like, everything's based off of retail seasons in our lives now, whether we like to admit it or not. And, well, spooky season starts right after Labor Day. That is official now. That's just what it is. Christmas is already encroaching into fucking stores, and it's still September, so spooky season is well underway at this point.
For every store that puts up Christmas stuff now, they could go suck a dick.
Well, that'd be Walmart.
And fucking Lowe's. Fuck you, Lowe's and Walmart.
And Hallmark. But Hallmark might not count because they're kind of all year round a little bit.
That's their shtick, yeah.
Yeah, so, I'll give it to them. Today is September 25th, 2023, and we have a fantastic fucking episode today. We're talking we're talking Dr. Sleep, man, and we've been mentioning that for a long time on this show, and we finally did it. Unfortunately, all of us aren't here. But much love to our brother, Scuba Steve. He's dealing with some bullshit right now. I ain't going to get into it because it's his personal stuff. Needless to say, give some love to Scuba Steve. He needs it. And, hopefully.
Yeah, he had a bad day. We'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Universal bullshit. That's all you need to know. Everybody deals with it.
Listen, everybody, send him a wiener pic. He'll be a happy man.
He might send one back, so you might be lucky.
Exactly.
I mean, if you get one back, you are definitely lucky for sure. Like, that's no question about that.
Well, at least it's not like Bobby, where the picture had to be taken with the Hubble telescope.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it twice because you got to keep scrolling down to the next one. It's just 3 photos of shaft, and then finally head. You're like, oh, geez.
Finally, you get to the head, and you're just like, oh, it's pretty impressive.
It's like a panorama shot.
It's like when Bob or when Brody described the monster from Beyond. It's like dick on a ball sack.
For real, dude.
God, I forgot about that.
Oh shit,
dude! I forgot about it too until I realized that I had it written down in my notes that he wrote that he said that.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to remember that.
Hell yeah! But before we talk Dr. Sleep, we are going to do what we always do, and we're going to talk about what the fuck we did in the past week. So we don't have Scubas here, and me and the boys do not like to sing. So we're going to pull in variant Scoobs from, I think Scoob said 626 he was from. I'm not really sure.
626 universe, yeah.
Alrighty, so variant Scoobs, if you could please.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your
Slav! Give me that pizza.
You know what I just realized? I didn't realize his face was in the corner of that. I only look at the pizza.
You never saw?
Never noticed.
I never noticed that till now.
Wow, just always looking at that pizza, huh?
Hey, do you think that variant Scoob is from the same universe as Pizza Papa? The Pizza Papa always gets paid.
Pizza Papa? He always gets his paid. Maybe? I don't know.
In that universe, he is Pizza Papa.
Fucking right.
Pizza Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So Chad Daddy, we haven't seen you or pretty face in a hot minute. How the fuck you been, buddy?
I've been well. I haven't been here the last couple weeks because my son has had soccer games 3 consecutive Mondays. He has a game right now, that my wife is at that I'm sitting out because this was my pick, so I absolutely had to be here for this movie.
Hell yeah, dude.
And the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple rough days at work. Not like it really went bad. It's just like it was like really stressful, like just trying to get stuff done and just getting covered in grease and certain things not working. And so I really needed a therapeutic episode like this.
There you go.
I need my boys. I
Yeah,
miss
buddy.
my boys. So yeah, aside from doing a lot of soccer games, what else have we done? I've been playing God of War Ragnarok in the spare time that I have, and spending time with the kids. We've had a lot this past weekend. A soccer game. We had a birthday party with my buddy Tim. Tim is actually a part of the old Do Back Network, so he was.
Oh,
What's the last name? I'm brain
Oh.
fart. I think I know who you're talking about. Oh, yeah, he pops in every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
dude.
his daughter had a birthday party, so we went there. It was really nice seeing them because I haven't seen them for a good bit.
Hell yeah, bro.
We always keep telling them we want to have a fire and hang out, and it's hard for us to do because his fiance works nights at a bar, so it's kind of hard to schedule something like that.
I get it, dude.
Yeah, it was nice seeing them and the kids again. What else did we do? Watch that movie Elemental, that Pixar movie. That's the most recent one.
Oh, yeah. How was
It
it?
was, it was all right. I mean,
My daughter liked it, but she's the only one. She watched it by herself. We didn't watch
it's
it.
typical Pixar. It's
I'm not a Pixar guy, dude.
I am for like the
I don't
older stuff, but the last few just really haven't hit it.
I am a DreamWorks fanboy, dude. I will fully admit it. I am on. Like, if this is a Pepsi, Coke, Nintendo, Sega debate, I am on the fucking DreamWorks side 100%.
Oh yeah,
Agreed,
Nothing
agreed.
wrong with Shrek, buddy. Nothing wrong
It's
with
all,
that.
well, it's always dirtier, and it just seems like a little bit cheaper, but they know that and they're okay with it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, it's
Yes.
So last Friday, I didn't go into work last Friday. I've been doing a little bit of overtime here and there. Like I came in this past Friday, and I'll be working this Friday. But the Friday before, I took off. I didn't. We don't need to. We get our 40
Right.
hours in Thursday. So sat at home, and there's this channel on Pluto TV called 80s Rewind that shows 80s movies. There's also a 90s Rewind, a 2000s Rewind, but the 80s Rewind, I turned it on, and it was showing Coming to America.
oh shit.
I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen this in a long time. So I watched it. It was like the second half of Coming to America, and it was followed immediately by Beverly Hills Cop,
Hey.
and then
Is it
Beverly
a
Hills
full
Cop.
Eddie? So is a full Eddie Murphy
It
marathon?
was a full Eddie Murphy. But then after Beverly Hills Cop 2, it went right back to Coming to America.
That's
I
okay.
don't like when stations do that though. When they full repeat, like
Yeah.
you should get. I feel like, and this is just me. You should at least give it an 8-hour time block, like allow 8 hours in between said. You know what I mean? Like this isn't TNT's Christmas Story 24 hours kind of a situation. You don't need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed when it went right back to Coming to America. At least they're in like the Golden Child or something.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't seen the Golden Child, it's pretty good.
I haven't, so I got to throw that on then.
Feel like I have, but it's probably been a long time.
It's very much like Big Trouble in Little China. But
Oh,
with Eddie Murphy.
Big trouble.
with supernatural shit too?
Mhm.
Oh, really? Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he fights a demon at the end.
Huh.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. So Eddie Murphy marathon. All right.
So,
So
really, aside from that, like I said, it's just been time with the kids, time with the wife, time with the family. I'm pretty relaxed.
word. What's up, Mika? How you?
Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, perfectly fitting because he's in Doctor Sleep. Hello there.
That's right.
General Kenobi.
I was gonna say, yeah, we totally got a whole different kind of force power going on in this movie.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
All right,
Fucking
but
right, man.
enough about me. Bobby, what have you been up to, buddy?
What did I do? Well, last week I worked, normal work, rumbling crap and all that fun shit. And I just go, well, I don't really give a fuck. So just let me do my job and all that. But Friday night it was a nice night. I went out with some of the guys from work, all of us who just have a good time and love working together. We all went out and saw our former supervisor came out with us. And we just went, had some beers, had some food. It was just chilling, all that good stuff. It was a nice night. And then my girlfriend was in Texas for a week.
Oh,
Oh no.
She was in
Nice.
Sugarland, Texas. She was down there for they were not buying out, but they were selling a company, so they had to go down there and do some shit down there, and she had to do her work down there. I picked her up from the airport on Friday night. Around 11:30, she came in, and since it's been a rainy, shitty weekend, Saturday was go to the gym and then whatever we want to do, which we really didn't do much. We chilled out. We had lunch. That was it, really. Saturday.
I feel stupid because I have no idea what Rebecca does for a living.
She's an accountant.
Oh, okay.
She runs the. If I'm saying this right, and correct me if I'm wrong, honey, because she'll watch us a little bit. I believe she basically runs their whole financial department. Like, it's like she is the head finance person of the whole company. So that's what she does. So, she deals with God only knows how much money every single day. So, but then Saturday night, I made homemade Big Macs. I found a Big Mac recipe and I made homemade McDonald's Big Macs, and they were fucking phenomenal. And I will never buy a Big Mac from McDonald's again because I made them.
Why would you in the first place?
Because it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. And then Sunday, we had a baptism, and then we had a birthday party dinner for her sister. So that's what we did. We did running around, all of that fun stuff, and then we got to watch this movie.
Yo, man.
And then today I was off.
Let me ask you a question, homie. Are they still doing baptisms like COVID style? Because that would be fantastic.
No.
Just working.
Yes, dude. Bring that shit back, man.
No, because there's already talk of shutdowns coming back, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
God, why?
No. I just want to bring priests with squirt guns back, dude. That's the only part I want back.
That should just be the way to do it from now on.
Right. Be like, you know what, man? Like, honestly, they should. I'm going to go to fucking straight hell for this. They should take one of those little Jeez-Its, dude, right? Just have the mom take a little lick, put that right on the baby's forehead. That's the target. And then now the priest fucking lanes back. Bing! You're baptized, motherfucker. Dude, it'd be so bad, dude.
That would be so funny.
I listen, Chad. It's weird, man, because you say that, and I have noticed that people have been coming down with it a little bit more. It's been popping up at work and shit, which I was like, God damn it, dude! I don't want to do that shit again.
The neighbor The neighbor kid tested positive for it, but he hasn't been sick. So,
yeah.
Like, and it wasn't a false positive because they did.
At the same time, dude, like nobody, like the other side of it doesn't give any flying fucks unless they're gonna like need to pull some shit. But you know what I mean? Like, they're like, you get like 5 days off, and we don't even want to give you that, and then you definitely have to come back regardless. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
What up, bro? What up, Brody?
Hey, Brody.
All right, so Killing Machine stepped out for un momento, so I'll take it over. And what I personally did, which wasn't much, so we'll keep it short and fucking sweet. But let's see, Friday I came home, dude, got a bunch of shit done, and I was fiending to play some fucking Mortal Kombat, and so I did. And then the wife wanted to watch a movie, so I got pulled away because, you know, you gotta do that. You gotta spend some time with the quality one. So we decided to watch Sinister, and I haven't watched that personally since we watched that in theaters. I got about halfway through it, and I feel like I enjoyed it for what I was watching more this time, but I gotta finish it. It's always that ending that could either make or break the movie, obviously. Yeah. And I totally forgot it was a Blumhouse movie, which kind of maybe makes sense of why I didn't like the ending of it. If I remember it,
I was just mentioning we were at, like I said, we were at Tim's kid's birthday party, and the old neighbors that we used to live by, their boy Milo, who might be watching right now because I sent him the link, but he's a big horror fan, and we were talking about Blumhouse movies and such. And I'm like, I can't really, really think of any. I'm like, I'm sure there's a couple Blumhouse movies I did like, but I liked
The Visit. I thought The Visit was pretty good. I don't know if you ever saw that one. Mm-hmm. That was the found footage one with the cracked grandparents.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like in the trailer, she was trying to get the granddaughter to clean inside the oven and shit. You were like, oh man, what is it? Yeah, that was an all right one. And Oh, what's the one there? What's the one with the beast? With fucking Professor Xavier there when he's got the split. That one was bad. Jesus Christ. Answered my own question. But yeah, so anyways, watching a little bit.
Really?
What's that? Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, I picked up like this because it was at Big Lots one day and it was like super fucking cheap. It was like $7 and probably a reason for that. But it was like a Blumhouse movie collection. It was 6 or 7 different movies. And yeah, it had Split. I haven't seen Upgrade yet, and I heard fantastic things about that. I think it has the first Conjuring in there. It's got Get Out, so that's how I saw Get Out. It's got I don't know. It's got a few other like bigger ones, and I feel like they're like half for me. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah.
But no, Saturday we ended up taking the family, and we met up with some friends. We went to the pumpkin patch. We did not get pumpkins, but like, wow.
I'm just laughing because the video your wife posted.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that in a second.
That was great.
I should load that up, honestly. Actually, I wonder if I can. So anyways, yeah. So we went to this place. I think it's called Pick and Patch, maybe. I don't remember. But dude, I've been to a lot of pumpkin places, and obviously, like pumpkin patches in the last decade or so have expanded to a point of just being a pumpkin patch, as we all know, right? Like now it's got to be a full-on activity center.
Yes.
And that's just what it is. That's the nature of the beast. It is what it is, whatever. These motherfuckers have found it, like figured out a fantastic way to do it. So you go in, you can either buy your tickets online, blah, blah, blah. So you go in, huge, like open field, but it's completely all fenced in, right? And even within the fencing part is still like the tractor ride, which isn't much. And then there's like a whole apple fucking thing, which is also completely fenced in its own area, but it's connected to it. So you can go apple picking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So literally you could just let your kid go free range in this place, dude. And you could almost keep an eye on them like 98% of the places. Like if you get behind a couple of the food shacks, you might lose them. But other than that, man, it is completely wide open space, right?
Nice.
So you go in, dude, super fucking like, it's just super simple setups, dude. They got like a bubble station. They got some shit where they had some like duck racing where it's like, it's literally some PVC setup of a ramp going down and then back down to a trough, which has 2 water pumps set into it to the highest thing. And then just a bunch of plastic ducks. So you just put a bunch of plastic ducks up in there and you just start pumping like crazy against the other person to try to race it down. And then as like Chad Daddy's, bro, I don't give a shit if this place was for kids. Me and my buddy, who was also 38 years old, were having the time of our lives at this place. Because
I saw some of the videos
there.
of you.
Yeah, they have alcohol there, man. And this whole place. So like, okay. So the next thing, which you guys saw me on, they had a little trike racing course, which looks way more fun than it actually is to do. Because the problem is, especially with my fat ass and big ass, the tire is its own pedal system, right?
Yeah.
Now, you always know I'm taller, obviously. So I need to be set back a little bit so my knees can get underneath the handlebars. Well, the problem is now all my weight is distributed too far off the front tire. So I'm just popping wheelies, spinning the whole time, like, not getting fucking traction whatsoever. So then, like, I get halfway around. I'm like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. My buddy's like, try a different one with a seat closer. So I do. And it is better. But now you got to fucking, like, bow your fucking legs out like this and fucking pedal like an asshole. So
why didn't Jen get a video of the wheelie popping?
Because she didn't see it at that time.
Oh,
like she
God,
wasn't over there at that
That would
point.
have been funnier than ever.
So yeah, we did like one loop and we both were like winded as fuck. We are like, that was terrible. That was such an awful fucking idea. Like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
And then they got like a nice beer truck over here with like slushies and shit. So I got a slushie and then a Oktoberfest after that. So then they got like basketball and like football, just throwing shit, which is, simple. Holes in fucking some painted holes on some fucking plywood, dude, that you're just throwing this shit through. And then next to that, they got a baseball speed checker with its own their own homemade little speed checker thing set up on it. And then they had a couple slides. One was like built one into a hill from a carnival. They had apple cannons, which are fucking always a good goddamn time, dude. Like, who doesn't love shooting a fucking apple out of a fucking turret, dude? You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
I'm like, I want it. I had some intrusive thoughts behind that fucking thing, dude. Let me just say, because I was like, bro, could you imagine this as like a home defense if you had like people just taking them out with apples? Like,
we did that last weekend, dude.
like, what is the caliber of an apple? I need to know. You know what I mean? Like, what does that go to?
Think of it like the size of a grenade, so go from there.
Jesus Christ. But and then they had like this cool like wood rope course and shit like that, dude, which was like I could do half of it, but then there was some shit where I was like, yeah, my fat ass ain't trying to fit through that shit. But like, some of it was just like walking over stumps, or it had like just like ropes with logs on them that you had to like get across and shit. So, and then they had like this bounce pad in the center for kids, and there was some other little shit. So needless to say, and there's some food shacks, right? And then of course, leaving this place, it's just like a fucking zoo. They make you leave through the gift shop, them motherfuckers. And that's where all the stuffed animals and shit are, and fucking assholes.
Of course.
And you know what? Hey, you want chocolate milk and everything? Yeah, it's right over in the gift shop. You can just hop in and then come right back out. And like, you sons of bitches. Stop putting all the kids' drinks around all the fucking toys and shit, you fucks.
Well, they knew exactly.
I know. It's such a smart thing. And then there's like, Chad, you got little kids. There's like the little kid pumpkin book series out, and it's like this little square pumpkin.
Oh,
I don't know if you Spookly. Yeah. Okay. Dude, that's like their mascot for this thing, man. They had an inflatable. They sold a shit ton of stuffies of him. They had all his books for sale.
My wife would have loved that because she loves Spookly the square pumpkin.
Oh, bro. Yeah, dude. They actually, the stuffies were really like nicely made and shit like that. So needless to say, man, and they had a full fucking core maze, to which this year they did it for Jurassic Park. So it was all this huge, oversized Jurassic Park corn maze, which was cool. Dude, we were in there for over a fucking hour, man. It's easily over 2 miles if you do the whole thing.
Was the entryway, did it at least look like the Jurassic Park doors?
So it didn't. They had some like dinosaur statues out in front. It didn't look like that, but it was more like the overhead. Like, here's the maze. This is what it looked like. And it said Jurassic Farm. And then it had like dinosaurs in each corner with the obviously normal Jurassic Park symbol.
That's cool.
But dude, we were at this pumpkin patch for 5 fucking hours, bro. And it didn't even feel like it didn't feel like 5 hours. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a bad, like, oh my God, we've been here forever. It was like, holy shit, dude, we've actually been here for 5 fucking hours already. Like, what the fuck?
like you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, absolutely. What's up, Mal?
Hi, Mal.
No, absolutely, man. It was the girls fucking loved it, man. They fucking tired themselves out. They had some great fucking food. They had a pumpkin pizza. I was too scared to get it, but my friends got it. I just got the normal pepperoni pizza because I'm like, I want to go with something I trust and I know. Because the pumpkin pizza, no sauce, pumpkin puree, cheese, bacon, arugula, pesto, and balsamic vinaigrette on top of it, like spritzed. And I was just like,
that's a fancy pizza.
It looked very fancy, but in the same vein, too fancy for my plain ass. Like, I was just like,
I would try it.
I would
try it if they had it by the slice, but I don't want to spend $12 for a whole pizza if I'm not going to fucking like it. You know what I mean? Like, that's
$12. That's actually a really good price for a whole pizza.
Oh yeah, it's a 12-inch pizza, dude, for $12. It was like, I thought, which is weird because the big pretzel was the same fucking price, but I think it's the same amount of dough. So
okay, that would make sense.
But I still feel like when you say pretzel versus pizza, I'm more apt to buy the pizza because I feel like in my head I'm getting more. Yeah, I don't know why, just because you had cheese and sauce, right? Yeah, but it was only just pepperoni, and it wasn't even a lot. But it's just the extra cheese and sauce.
Well, yeah, but with a pretzel, you're getting salt and dough.
No, I mean, you got mustard and cheese, but I say the mustard doesn't count because mustard is free anywhere. So that's whatever. Cheese, okay. But I don't know. Either way, great fucking place, dude. The girls had a blast. I had a good time. Like I said, we didn't even fucking buy pumpkins because we were so tired by the time we left. I ended up coming home, heading out to Syracuse, hung out with some of my Ghostbuster boys who I haven't seen in a minute, dude. We just fucking chilled, had a brewski, watched Afterlife, and then pretty much just thought about the possibilities of what's potentially coming with the new movie. There's been a few groups out there, at least one, the German boys. They've actually got to see the rough cut of it post production, so there's no like special effects or anything, but they have got to see essentially what the movie will potentially be. So, but obviously they can't say anything.
Right.
But it's in the workings.
I really
But
it's either a villain from the cartoon or someone completely new. We don't.
it's
need
got to
a-
be new or
it's
cartoon's fine.
gotta be.
Cartoon, you know what? That's fine. Cartoon is fine too. Like known is okay, but somebody who we've already had with the limited amount of movies we've had, don't keep bringing them back.
Yeah, no.
You want to show the painting of Ego, fine, but that's it. You know what I mean? Do it in a pan shot. Ooh, there he is. Maybe a little less member berries this time around. I'm hoping. But that was one thing we were talking about because the whole new director. I'm like, dude, I think it might actually be better. And he's like, and my buddies were like, why? I'm like, because, dude, you don't have a guy living under his daddy's shadow trying to do something. You have somebody completely different who has the blessings of said family, but you know, he's not that family. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
he doesn't have to feel the weight of like parental judgment and stuff like that. But yeah,
I
other
think
than that,
it's fantastic. Regardless, I'm gonna.
oh,
go
I
see
can't wait.
Yeah.
dude.
Like me and the kids are definitely gonna see it.
But other than that, man, I have rambled on way too fucking long. So let's wrap this shit up. And we are here once again to talk Dr. Sleeps, which is from 2019. And this was a Chad Daddy pick,
This
right?
was the Chad Daddy pick because
Chad Daddy.
I love The Shining, so I figured it was time to visit the sequel.
And you know what's awesome is I love the fact that you love The Shining, but you watched it with us. Like you watched it for the show for the first time, which is the best to me. Yeah, buddy, take it away, homie.
All right, so released November 9th, 2019. On highways across America, a tribe of people called the True Knot travel in search of sustenance. They look harmless, mostly old, lots of polyester, and married to their RVs.
They're
But as
gypsies.
Dan Torrance knows, I thought that too. And tween Abra Stone learns the True Knot are quasi-immortal, living off the steam that children with the Shining produce when they are slowly tortured to death. Haunted by the inhabitants of the Overlook Hotel where he spent one horrific childhood year, Dan has been drifting for decades, desperate to shed his father's legacy of despair, alcoholism, and violence. Finally, he settles in a New Hampshire town, an AA community that sustains him, and a job at a nursing home where his remnant shining power provides the crucial final moment to the comfort to the dying. Aided by a prescient cat, he becomes Dr. Sleep. Then Dan meets the evanescent Abra Stone and her spectacular gift. The brightest shining ever seen reignites Dan's own demons and summons him to a battle for Abra's soul and survival. I would just like to point out that I did copy and paste this description as it was written by Mr. Stephen King himself.
Hey, can't get any better than that, right?
Can't get any
Well,
better
as
than
you were
that.
reading it, I'm like, that sounds like something King would write.
Oh yeah, especially the words like evanescent. That
Yeah,
like,
right. That
Yeah,
was
exactly.
pulling
I'm
out
like-
some big words there.
okay.
Yeah.
Directed by Mike, not Walt Flanagan. That's a quick reference. Oculus, Gerald's Game. Written by Mike Flanagan. Hush, The Haunting of Hill House, based on the book by Stephen King. Produced by Trevor Macy. Doomsday, The Strangers. And John Berg, Justice League, Aquaman. John Berg.
Yeah.
Is that the guy that Seinfeld? Mr. Berg. Hello, Mr. Berg.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's the same guy.
No.
Just
No.
bring that up because
What up, Gene?
Gene,
Welcome back,
what's
What's
up,
up,
buddy?
Gene?
I know we were missing Gene last week. We didn't have him.
We were missing everybody last
Where
week.
was everybody in the chats last
I
week?
don't
came
know,
in
dude.
there,
Last week was
nobody.
weird. And I know we
Yeah.
started a little late, but at the same time, like there was
It wasn't. Yeah.
nobody.
Not even Heather, not even. Well, Brody was on, so he obviously was in the chat.
No, and I get it. You know, I mean, listen, dude, people got shit going on. That's cool. Like, but we just want to let you know y'all were missed.
Yes,
Yes.
you were. Big
Yes,
time.
up in the chats. I was very lonely. By the way,
That's what it should. That's what should be said.
by the way, I would like to give breaking news that my son's soccer team is no longer goalless. They have scored at least 2 goals so far.
Woohoo! Thank you. Yeah.
Cameron plays defense, so he doesn't really get goals.
What's that, bud?
My son plays defense, so he doesn't really go for the goals.
That's fair.
It's okay.
I was always a D and goalie guy.
Yeah.
So I understand.
All right, take it away, Bobby.
All right. Starring, I always pronounce his first name wrong. Is it Ewan or
Ewan.
Ewan? Okay. Ewan McGregor.
I like Ewan better, dude. Like it's close enough to Ewok.
Well, I was ready to say Ewan because I'm like, some people would say
Ewan.
that, and I would be that one. Ewan McGregor, Mullen Rogue, robots as
Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge, man.
Mullen Rogue.
It was listen. It wasn't a name. It's okay. As
That's
Dan
fine.
Torrance, Rebecca Ferguson, Life Dune as Rose the Hat, Kylie Curran, Secrets of Sulphur Springs, The Fall of the House of Usher as Abra Stone, Carl Lumbly, Adventures of the Buckaroo.
Say the whole thing.
Bonzi Across the Eighth Dimension. Jesus fucking Christ, Chad.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, man, that's a really famous movie.
What the? Yeah, okay.
Buckaroo Banzai? You never heard of Buckaroo Banzai?
Nope.
It's an older one, but yes, I have.
It's Peter Weller, dude. It's RoboCop.
I've never seen it, but I have.
It is a very big movie.
But
I've
anyway,
seen it once, and I'm not sure if I liked it or not.
I've never seen it, so I will have to watch it then. It's
1984. Oh wow, John Lithgow's in it too.
Justice League as Dick Halloran, Zan McLaren, close enough. Longmire, The Forever Purge as Crow Daddy, Emily Alyn Lind, The Babysitter, Gossip Girl as Snakebite Andy, Bruce Greenwood, Star Trek, The Resident as Dr. John Dalton, Jocelyn Donahue, The House of the Devil, Insidious Chapter 2 as Lucy Stone, Cliff Curtis, The Meg, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw as Billy Freeman, Robert Longstreet, The Haunting of Hill House, Halloween Kills as Barry the Chunk, Carell
Perry the
Strucken.
Chunk. What a fucking name, dude.
I was like, that's a hell of a fucking
It's
name.
a big change from, I guess, his name in the book. Like the script, it was like censored out in the IMDb,
Really?
but I think it's Barry the. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get canceled, but it's a very racist, anti-Asian
Oh,
word.
hey.
Chinese.
Okay, that's all you need.
Fair.
Yep. Hey, that's good.
Fair enough. Carell Strucken. I'm saying that, yeah. The Addams Family, Men
Stroking
in
it.
Black. Stroke that too. As Grandpa Flick. Alex S.O., The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Pope's Exorcist as Wendy Torrance. And Zachary Moho, whatever, I can't pronounce today. Back to my normal self. 7 Seconds to Kill Team as Dave Stone. Total body count of 17. John?
Alrighty, sorry about that. Music by the Newton Brothers, The Haunting of Hill House and The Forever Purge. Cinematography by Michael Fimonari. Oculus,
Sounds about
The
right.
Haunting of Hill House. Edited by Mike Flanagan, Oculus, and Gerald Gain. Effects and makeup by Rise Visual Effects Studios. The Fate of the Furious and Stranger Things. Never heard of it. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. Runtime of 152 minutes. Rating of R. Budget 55 million. And grossed 72.3 million.
That's it?
That didn't do that great. And I would like to point out there is a extended cut of the movie that's like half an hour longer.
Jesus Christ!
And I do
liked what I saw, but goddamn, I don't need another 30 minutes, dude.
I have a listing of all the deleted scenes, and it doesn't really seem like it's essential.
I'm sure it's not. It's probably just fluff, dude. It's probably normal Stephen King fluff just to make writing, good. And
honestly, that's a little disappointing, but we'll talk about that now in general discussion. That's a very disappointing box office return. I'll say it straight up. This was a phenomenal movie.
It was very good.
I I'm going to tell you right now and why I personally think of it, and I could not say my opinion means fucking shit, but I do remember when this came out. However, I do also remember that the advertising for this movie was complete dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
They did not advertise this movie whatsoever. Half of the people I even talked to didn't even like. I would say about half of the people didn't even realize it was supposed to be a sequel to The Shining.
Yeah, that they didn't. They did not promote it.
Me included. I will gladly throw myself into that boat. I didn't know until Bob saw it and then told us about it after the fucking fact.
I only
So,
knew it was.
like-
I only knew it was a sequel because I knew the book came out, and the book was
Right.
a sequel.
But I mean, like, if we're gonna be honest, dude, like we take 100% of people, like how many of the people actually know about any of the books and shit? You know what I mean? Like maybe the classic ones, sure, but even newer ones, I'm like, I don't pay attention enough.
Yeah.
That being said, it is a fantastic fucking movie. I also wonder maybe if it came out, it came out at a weird time because I also think that's when the big old vid started hitting everything.
Yep.
Not to the extent when it got to March where shit closed down, but I do believe November is when you started seeing like flare up shit about it in the news, and it started becoming a thing around this time. I'm not saying that's necessarily to blame, but I do remember November being weird that year.
And it also, as you can see, I'm joined by my youngest daughter, Harper.
Hello, little one.
Hello.
She just wandered in here.
I love you too.
Ah,
And the boys said hi to you. You want to wave to them?
hello.
Hello.
And she's going to go chill on the bed, I think. I'm not sure what
All
she's
right.
doing. But yeah, and another thing is this came out post spooky season. I'm not sure November is the best time. I mean, it's a little dry horror wise, but you really want to get that October Halloween crowd in there to see this. And I don't remember what all came out in October of that year. Do you guys remember?
2019.
Um.
Let's see. Halloween was the year prior.
Yep.
Did Screen 5 come out? Or was that 2020?
I thought that was 2020.
Okay, that might have been 2020. 2019.
I feel like that might have been a little dry horror wise.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. I will look this up. You guys keep talking.
Well, you know what the weird part is? Like, yeah, you might be right. It should have came out in October, but you know something now? I mean, yeah, okay, we know it is a sequel, but to me, I don't think this would have done maybe then, since it wasn't advertised as well, much better in October, because it's definitely not, I feel, an October movie, let alone something in Halloween time. But that's also me personally. I
Well-
think it could be, maybe.
I think and obviously, yes, we'll get into general discussion. I just personally think like if they push the advertising more as an actual Shining sequel, even if you're gonna mislead people about it, you know what I mean? But you just show them some snippets from like the reshoots in the beginning and shit like that, and then you show some shit from the end where they're back at the dilapidated hotel. You skip all the shit in the middle. You don't need that there. That they'll see that when they come to the movie. But you know what I mean? You kind of just lay that little bit so you know, oh shit, this is
In reality,
Shining sequel. Like,
I'm actually glad they didn't use that for advertising because I liked
Yeah.
the surprise at the end of them going back to the Overlook.
oh, I mean that was cool too. I kind of
expected it, yeah.
I was gonna say I kind of expected it only because it kept getting brought up and like he's had these ghosts locked in. I'm like they're gonna come back into place somehow, and I'm glad they did. But yeah, let's fucking discuss this movie. So this was my first time viewing it. Obviously, Bob, not yours.
No.
Chad Daddy, yours.
It was my first as well.
Okay, cool. So that being said, let's start right from the get go. How do we feel about all the reshot scenes?
They were a little off-putting because the actors weren't
Then
that similar to, like, you did get a couple quick shots that
they were similar. It was almost like
there was two shots that are used in the movie that were taken directly from The Shining. One
Okay.
was with the axe breaking through the door because that was Shelley Duvall.
yes.
Yes. No, it wasn't.
And-
And
No,
the
it wasn't.
elevator.
No. That one. There was one shot that was Shelley Duvall.
When
They
the
did it
axe
twice,
goes through the
though.
door
Well, they did it
at
twice.
at the end, it's not her though.
No,
No,
at
no,
the
no.
beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning. At the end, it's clearly the new mom. Well,
And then
the newer actress.
the shot going over the water, and you see the car going up the hill. That's the same shot from the first one. They just darkened it.
Yeah. And
Did they
added
add some like
snow.
CGI mist and
CGI
shit in
snow
there?
stuff,
Because
Yeah,
it
they
definitely
added
looked a little bit.
snow.
It looked good. It still just didn't look as good as the OG, just like actual crisp fucking helicopter shot. You know, like
Yeah,
See,
they wanted to reuse it, but still make it
I get it.
modernized. Yeah,
as far as using new actors for that, I mean, I think they did a phenomenal job. I mean, but also nobody's going to do the job that either one of them did in The Shining. That's
So
not going to happen.
no, I agree with that. Now I think like the mom replacement to me wasn't as bad. I feel like she kind of had her nervous voice on cue with that, and she kind of had the look. Now the dad later on, questionable. Like it kind of looked like Jack Torrance, but it was like B version Jack Torrance. Like he would have been
great value Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson's stunt double for a scene in the original one. You know what I mean? Like he
Like
looks kind of close, but
in
not.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, you idiot! These are their stunt doubles. Exactly. Like that would have been that dude. But no, like I thought I liked the redoing of the first one only because it brings you kind of up to speed. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't watched The Shining in a while, which I personally haven't, not that I needed to, but I kind of wanted to. I'm glad they did this for that reason. So I didn't have to. Now, is it as good as the OG? No. But like Chad Daddy said, even my wife's like, I like it, but something about just replacing the actors just doesn't, it feels weird. And maybe that's where you resonate with that a little bit too. I get it. But I thought it was still just a good setup for the beginning, though. Like you got the whole idea of the mind boxes, and that's literally what it's all for, is just to get a, like, okay, he learned this one extra trick when he was a kid. All right, fast forward to the future now.
And I like the thought that the idea that the entities of the hotel were still following him even after he was gone.
Right?
Yeah,
like
I
they're
love that.
they're that hungry for his
shine.
steam. So the steam thing, I'm questioning on that because now everybody has steam. Correct. Because we see
Yes.
that when the older folks die in the home when he's next to them. But is it, if you have the shine, you just have that much more steam? Is that what I'm taking as?
Yes, you have.
So
they
steam
have
is
a ton more. Like
Yeah,
So
it's
steam
like
is
more energetic or something.
so steam is
think.
essentially life essence. Is what
soul,
I took it as.
Your soul.
yeah,
To which would explain if you have the shine, you would have more life essence into you, which would give you the ability to be able to perceive into other people that way. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, and they did bring up that quote where like a lot of people have it and they don't even realize they do have it. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool too. Like,
And I can't say this because, and it's in my notes later, that actually Jack Torrance had the shine.
I figured he did. And
Mhm.
I figured this movie actually more solidified that basis only because, well, that's why all the ghosts were going after him in the first one. You know what I mean? Like they were drawn to him for a fucking reason.
Apparently it's confirmed in the book version of Doctor Sleep, and that's why.
Oh no shit!
He was an alcoholic because he was trying to deaden it.
which
Like Danny.
that's you're right.
So that would make sense why he was seeing the ghost.
Yeah,
And she never did because Shelley Duvall never saw him.
No, she did not.
I think, right?
No.
Right. So okay, cool. No,
But see-
I like that 100%.
that's why I'll say this also. Right, this is I call this the perfect sequel, but at the same time, it's its own movie because the first movie is the deterioration of a man who's trying to suppress all his shit with his alcohol and everything in his life. This is the story of you see a young man who's already at the bottom, but climbs back up to you see him recover,
That's
deal
exactly
with it, and
exactly
like as Stephen King said it himself, he says, "I wrote The Shining. I was an alcoholic. I was a bad parent to a degree. I was this. I was that. I wrote this. I'm sober. This is a totally different journey." And you literally see how where he was his father, but then he goes, "Well, I'm not you, so I move on."
Exactly.
It's
The original Shining is about alcoholism, and this is about recovery.
yeah.
Hey Bob, can you do me a solid? Can you give yourself a reset, dude? Your camera, I can't even see your handsome face, dude. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, you look
But
like you're
it's,
dialing it in from 1998.
yeah, it's like straight up 240p, buddy.
Wait. Let me try this too.
Got the old flip flop fucking. No, it's
That's
just
not-
It's
the.
still bad. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
just give us a quick reset if you could. Thanks, buddy. Um, no, but this movie, man, it brings it. Okay, so it brings us up to speed. He is a drunk charlatan, I guess you want to say. I'm not really sure. He's a bum, essentially.
Yeah.
He's a grade A bum.
He's not even a good person at all.
There we go. All right, that's a little cleaner. Sweet.
Much better.
Good, Bob?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I was just.
Nope, you're good. So, like I was just saying, so now we're up in not into the present, but we're up into the future to where now he's an adult. Like I just said, he's a bum. He's a shithole. He's a shithole.
He's a shitty person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The fact that mom and the mom and kid ended up dying.
Dude, that
Like
tore
how
me up.
Yeah,
how
I was like, wait,
fucked
what?
was that scene, dude? Because like, it for some reason didn't even like hit to me until after the scene ended, and I was just like, what the fuck was that? I was like, oh, I was like, oh fuck, dude. Like that is
Yeah, that was a hard one.
that was some heavy like that almost makes you like that moment really sets you for how you feel about this character at this point in time. Like, even though you know he didn't necessarily like obviously he didn't mean for them to die,
Yeah.
Right
you
now.
know, but oh, that was so gross that when he woke up and there was just puke next to her on the bed. I was just like, ugh.
Oh,
Eh.
that's definitely a night of, oh dear God, who are you? I don't want to know.
It looked like somebody spilled oatmeal.
Yes,
Was
legit.
really green though. She was drinking apple martini, or she was drinking apple martinis that night, or something like
Sour
that.
apple pucker.
Yep, there you go.
Make
Ugh.
that.
What's that?
This seems like a very like 90s, 2000s.
Bro, the
thing.
90s are coming back, man. It's all there, baby. I'm sure it is.
Sour
I'm
apple
sure
pucker.
it
I
is.
can't believe I even talked about that. I can't remember. Wow.
Fucking A, man. So no, but yeah, we bring it up to speed. He's a shitbag. He knows he's a shitbag. And so he's trying to escape his life, to which he does. And we meet what's his buddy there? His AA buddy. What's his name?
Oh, Mike.
Is it Mike?
I don't know why I'm thinking Mike.
Billy? No.
Billy. I think it's Billy.
Is it Billy?
Is it Billy?
Billy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now that
So
sounds more right.
we meet Billy, who right off the bat is a super trusting dude, to which kind of puts red flags up to me, but I also think I'm skewed from watching too many horror movies.
It didn't put up any
That's-
horror. It didn't put up any red flags for me because as soon as he helped Danny find, room to live in, I'm like, this guy's been through this. That's why he's
Yeah.
so nice to him because he's had. And I,
Well,
and of course, that's the truth. That's what
it was just the initial until we skipped to 8 years later again, which I was very kind of surprised about. But it makes sense because before we do that, we get a snippet of ABBA in her super youth,
Yes, we do.
and we learn. It's interesting how this movie does it because we're learning about a lot of different characters at once, with not only her, but then right from the get-go, we learn about Rose the Hat and her like tribe and shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Kinda, or we're learning about them.
Yeah.
And as for villains, I feel like this movie actually spends a lot of time with the villain in their focal
yes, it
point.
does.
Where, yeah, like usually you never get that. You know what I mean? Like, there's never been a nightmare where we have 10 minutes where we're with just Freddy doing his thing, trying to figure some shit out and like trap these. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
never get that side of it.
think
And it
the
was-
only I'm thinking
Go ahead.
about the only other movie that I can think of that immediately springs to mind where you spend that much time with the villain is Infinity War.
I would say Infinity War or maybe even Rob Zombie's Halloween. And even on
Or-
Rob Zombie's Halloween, it's still not to that focus where you're behind his mask. You know what I mean? Like you're with him the whole time. But this almost, I hate to say, like, it doesn't make you want to feel for her, but I almost feel like it may just a scotch.
No, I
You
did not sympathize.
No,
No.
not yeah. No.
Like you don't, and that's what I'm saying. Like the way her character is, like she isn't, but she is, because like obviously like she gets completely taken asunder by Abba later on, and that whole fucking scene was just awesome. I can't wait to talk about that. But you're right. These people, even though like I don't know, man, I feel like we've just had way more malicious villains. But when these people died, it was so fucking satisfactory.
Mhm.
That happened, dude.
Yes.
And maybe it's because they're a bunch of child killers. Maybe that's what it fucking just, inherently set in.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
But going back, we get young Abba. She's doing Matrix tricks of fucking bending spoons and putting them up on the ceiling and shit like that. Mommy and Daddy are confused and scared, which,
Hey,
I'd probably be a little
that
bit
is
too.
entirely that magician's fault that even happened too. By the way,
Oh, because he was showing her the trick?
yeah, she's like, "Oh, I can do that too." He's like, "Yeah, sure you can."
Right? That was awesome. But no, so then we jump 8 more years, which, like I said, I did not personally expect, but it makes sense with the growth of our characters and like where we got to go. So obviously, Danny or Dan, he's completely sober now. He's been going strong. He's cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
He's got clean living, still dealing with his past, but in a much
Better.
healthier
Yeah.
outlook for sure. He's got a good friend that he's always can rely on. And our character Abba, she's obviously a young teenage girl at this point and very strong with her powers, dude. She's got to be like a level fucking 5 Omega mutant at this
By
point.
the way, you keep calling her Abba. It's Abra. You keep saying
Abba.
Abba.
I wanted to say, but I'm
I
like, I'm just waiting for
know.
him to
Sorry,
catch it.
Abba. I don't know.
Well,
It's
and
close
not
enough.
and also not only that, we also understand where the name of the movie and or the book came from too,
Yes.
because Danny was, with the help of a cat, they called him Dr. Sleep because that's when the people knew it was their time. He would come into
So-
the room and sit with them, and they knew it's like, okay, I could just go to sleep.
I'm not sure if I'm using the right word. What that cat is that cat like a masochist or like a sociopath? Like it just likes watching people die. Like
No, this was actually based on fact, and this is what.
No, I know,
inspired Stephen King, was that cat that would
right, because
accurately predict people
they
were
could
gonna
always
die.
see stuff. But that's what I'm saying though. Like I was just thinking, like every time they would just show the cat and the cat just sitting there like looking at him, I'm always just trying to think of like inner monologue of the cat. But it'd be like those Instagram where the cats are like, "Yeah, man, what's up?" Like deep black voice. But no, that was a very sombering scene. The first time that guy goes, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little tear in my eye. I was just like, "Oh, that's sad." But at the same time, that's probably one of the best things that anybody could possibly wish for is when they're going is to actually just have somebody
Someone
there to be there. Yeah. And like that was I was just like, we could all be so lucky.
Well, it's also they also get someone who just has in the so weird way an understanding of it's going to be okay. You're not fully gone, but you'll be okay. Go to sleep. It is what it is.
And it helps him maybe it kind of helps him make amends for like things that he's obviously done in the past. Like it's never going to take away the fact that like that mom and kid were, dead. But if he could help ease other people's pain, it at least gives him some grieving, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then we start getting it once we get the basis layering of like all our characters here. This is where we start to get into the thick of it. And this is where the shit starts getting fucking interesting. So now we start getting, obviously we got a small girl getting abducted in the beginning, but we didn't really know what the fuck was going on. We just got a bunch of people fucking hovering over top of her like zombies. Not really sure what's up, right? This is where we decide, or we're shown what's going on. And this is where we get the introduction of our newest member for the, what is it called? The Knot?
The
The knot, right?
Yeah, the knot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a. And at first, I thought I was going to kind of like this character because you know what I mean. She was kind of
Yeah,
she's out there doing dirty guys.
yeah, she's
Right,
like going
you know
after
what I mean?
pedophiles, killing these
Yeah.
pedophiles. Like, okay, is she going to be like helping Dan? Like, what's going on?
And I was kind of all for this character for a moment, dude. And then, man, she does such a 180 when she joins that fucking knot, and she's just such a cunt by the time she fucking
Oh
dies.
God.
yes,
See, that was
Like, she
when
was
I
one of the best deaths. You're like, oh fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
that was the most satisfying death I thought. And
yeah.
Her or
With-
Crow Daddies? I don't know, man. Crow Daddies was pretty fucking good too.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I was also very satisfied with Rose the Hat. I was like, you think you're just so powerful? Just watch what this.
Well,
thing is
yeah, I
gonna
mean
do
that
to
was
you.
obviously like ending one, but like out of like all of like the grouping, like dude, when that fucking cunt finally gets hers, it's like, oh thank God, dude.
Well, when I was watching the movie for the first time, I was kind of like you guys, like, oh, maybe we might like her. But in my head, I'm like, no, you are not going to be likable in about 30 seconds for whatever fucking reason. And then I'm like, yep.
I mean, I dig what she was doing for sure.
Yeah, I do. But I was like,
But
no, you're not. You're not a helper. You're a taker.
but clearly she also had a skewed view of like all men and everything like that,
Yeah.
which understandable. And she also has no problem after apparently her first child kill that she doesn't care anymore. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, fuck
Well, that was
her.
the first child kill that we see. You know, they've been doing it for like 8 years.
That's
was it-
true because
in the
she was
2011
prior to the 8 years. That's right. Okay. Nope. Okay. So yeah, that would explain her change, I guess, in personality for sure. But see, and Brody, that's what I'm going to, man. When Crow, not to like jump all around, not that that's what we do, but Crow Daddy's fucking death was
Oh God.
so satisfying. Bro.
Yes.
The whole scene was fucking fantastic, man. Just the whole like talk of fucking over arrogance and that whole thing. It's like, well, clearly you're arrogant and you just don't think, you know, you're just going to live forever. That's why you didn't put your seatbelt on. It's like, wait, what? And it's just like fucking force push the fucking steering wheel. Oh, it was so
Really-
good, dude.
Really cool thing about that scene, and I'm just gonna, since you brought it up, I was gonna
Yeah.
save it for the behind the scene. You brought it up. That whole scene with the little girl talking to him,
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor acted out that scene first.
And then
So
had
she-
her redo it.
You could emulate his mannerisms and everything doing it.
That's fucking awesome,
That's
dude. Because
awesome
it's
right there.
That shit played so well. And like, you really feel like he took over her. Like, just the way, like, dude, the way she's like all like straight all of a sudden now, like standing up tall and proper and just so much more like
Focused.
defined as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Just that was it was such a good like that was almost a scene where it's like I almost wanted to pause and just take it in for a moment. But obviously, like the movie's still going, so I'm like, oh man. But like he just talks so much shit, dude. So by
Yes.
the time he gets it, it's just
It's great. Well, the best part though is when she's standing over him and says, "I hope that hurts."
yeah, dude. The whole
Like, and
fucking
just like,
time.
yo, that little girl's just like, okay, fuck you. I'm like, I
yeah,
like
man.
it.
This movie was interesting because like it is a horror movie, but it could have been done so much more of a horror movie to where like I feel like our hero and heroine were solid right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like, dude, Abra was fuck around and find out from the get-go. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And Dan's over here like, I got shit in my closet that you don't want.
I loved how that came back, dude, as a booby trap
Oh yeah.
for the end scene. Like that, like just bringing it back in one way. Like I figured like they'd release him into the hotel and do the thing, but the way it actually like just came out and happened was just a fantastic, dude.
Oh God, yeah. They did it perfectly.
So let's talk the whole like click. I wish we got more of Grandpa because that was fucking Lurch. And randomly enough, right before watching Dr. Sleep, family and I just watched Addams Family and Addams Family Values. So I was just like, and the whole time we're sitting there for the first 5 minutes, like, man, where do I recognize that dude from? And the wife looks up, she's like, oh, it's Lurch. It's like, wow, I was so stupid. But no, man, like we get this cool fuck. Oh my god, it is
Scuba
the
Steve!
There he
Scuba
is.
Steven. What's up, buddy?
Not much. I decided to hop in anyways.
Oh,
Welcome
thanks, buddy.
aboard,
Yeah,
sir.
We're happy to have you here, buddy.
Fucking
So
A,
we're in
bro.
the general
We are-
discussion, by the way, bud.
Yeah. I'll say you're right in the sweet spot, dude. Did you get to watch this
I
week?
did. I've
okay,
I've seen it before. I've seen it a few times. So
Nice. So yeah, man, we're kind of we're at the point where now we're in the full present. So he's grown up and now it's the 8 years. So
and he's a
now
piece of
Avra's-
shit.
Well, now he's not a piece of shit, but yes, he was a piece of shit. And but yeah, now Abra's her fucking like Phoenix power fucking bullshit doing her thing. But this is the scene where Rose the Hat decides to try to like chase her down in her dream and she ends up fucking with Rose. Dude, that whole scene was fucking cool. And just from the fact of like Rose satelliting the globe. Like,
Yeah, that
the
visual
whole,
was
like
so
just yeah. Dude, this movie had some of the coolest fucking visuals of anything I've seen in a long time.
And, you know, I think it's really cool because, you know, it goes back that scene kind of goes back to the scene where Danny was asking what happens to them when they get put in the box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what I always thought was that's kind of where that would have went had she gotten pulled into the cabinet. That was her box. You know what I mean?
Essentially.
Like that was a way to trap her. So who knows? Maybe everybody that Danny's trapped in those boxes has been fucking suffering horribly, as they should.
Oh yeah. Well, at the end, as you see, they go, they're hungry and they are
Okay.
ready to feast.
But that scene, dude, where Rose goes into her bedroom and it's just like the way it's played.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh.
I just love how like Abra doesn't have her eyes shown, so it's just
Yeah,
like
oh my god.
open
Yes.
fucking flesh, so she doesn't really know what she looks like. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like that was like a full flip around reversal, which you don't usually see the villain get put into a scenario like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like it necessarily makes you feel for the villain, but it makes you feel that this villain's clearly not like all powerful like we usually get.
Yeah.
Or
Hey, there's my buddy
as she
Milo.
thought.
Yeah.
Was that, bud?
Well,
Yeah, there's my buddy Milo.
Oh, what's that, bud?
Well,
In the
that's
chat.
what Steve just said. If I'm correct, I think he says basically, Rose also underestimates pretty much everybody who has a
completely.
shine. So she's underestimating this little girl right off the bat. Like, oh, you should see my collection. This girl's just like, okay, I will see your collection.
Which
And
was
literally
fucking awesome, dude.
And now think about that scene for a second. That's also, I think, a little bit of a what are they? Ironic in a way. It's you're violating someone's mind. It's such a like a holy shit. She did just do that moment.
But this is some like Inception level bullshit at this
Yeah.
point, dude. Because like I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, so Rose the Hat is in this little girl's mind, but then somehow this little girl is able to go into the subconscious ethereal spirit of Rose's mind even more so and do like what the fuck, dude? This is some layers of shit going on, dude. It's awesome.
That is the Charles Xavier shit right there.
Yes.
Bro, 100%.
Very, and when I'm watching, I was like, this could easily be a fucking superhero movie.
This is an X-Men
Like,
movie.
yes.
It might as well be, dude. Like Blade could pop up and he's like, yo, these motherfuckers are close to vampires. Like, whatever. You know?
So basically, Rose would be the Shadow King.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
straight up.
mean, kind of the same hat.
Yeah.
So did they ever explain really what's going on with her hat? I might have missed that, but like,
Not really. No.
was
No,
it actually
because-
magic or was it just her?
I
'Cause
think
she
it was
seemed
just
very
her-
protective of it.
She's very protective of it, and I think that because it's like maybe like an extension of her.
That's
at
her
that point.
personality
Yeah.
at this point. Is just the hat.
She's
She's a
worn
fedora
it for
dude.
so long.
Ew.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Ew. My fedora is my personality, bro. That's
Okay, they're Indiana Jones.
fucking right.
Where's your whip?
It's right here.
It's in the bedroom.
Chains are on the other side. That's right. No, but this is so yeah, obviously, you know, Rose gets out of her trap. They're fucking all pissed off. And this is where we get into one of the most satisfying scenes in the movie, dude. And even though it's fucked up, was just the two guys hunting these motherfuckers down at the camp, dude, and just literally taking out all of them really easily, honestly.
Yeah.
Besides the one cunt right at the end who then gets Billy to shoot himself, which was very sad. I don't know. I almost thought Dan was going to be able to like psychic fight her at a moment,
which would have
You know
been
what-
cool to see, but
I mean, I guess it makes sense that he was still holding back, and she's like at her, she's at her most vile and strongest, so she's not going to give a shit.
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean,
I don't
and
know.
he suppressed his shine for so long too that he's
rusty.
Yeah, he's not as powerful as he could have been. Which
could he have been? Was he more powerful than Abra, or was he as powerful?
I think
she. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
I think if
I feel like maybe they were the same levels, but he was just because he was pushed back.
If he didn't suppress, I think they would have been either very equal, or he would have had her by a hair in terms of power. Only because then he would have been able to. I'm sure he would have done everything she was doing at some point or another.
That would have been like a Goku versus Gohan thing, where Gohan's just fucking born with it, dude, and Goku had to fucking work for it. No, it was. I liked it, man, because it was a horror movie, but it wasn't, and it was so. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why it was 2.5 hours long, because we had so many different tones.
It was almost like a dark fantasy as well.
Yeah, and like I said, or like I gotta say, this is not anywhere where I could particularly thought a sequel to The Shining would go. But then again, where would you go with a sequel to The fucking Shining?
I know you'd have to. You can't do like the exact same thing and rehash it over again. So
you almost have to go bigger picture. Yeah, you got to go bigger world picture, and clearly, okay, Shining exists. More people are going to have it. Where do we go with that? So, to which alludes like, okay, so now you have two different style people or creatures, whatever, that are Shining suckers. So what else is out there that could do it too? Not saying they would want to go to the third one, but you know what I mean?
I think I mean, in terms of another side, no, this was the perfect cap in terms of giving the explanation as to basically what the first movie was kind of doing to one and what these are doing.
Now that I think about it, Pennywise.
Yeah, Pennywise
would be very similar to this too, because he fed on fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's I mean, and they've never really tied everything all together, but I mean, it could all fit.
I don't think
everything is kind of tied together.
It is kind of
in the Dark Tower series.
Yeah, with Dark Tower. But on screen, we haven't really seen like an MCU Stephen King verse come to life.
Right.
Which, I mean, this would.
Yeah.
Well, see
I mean, any one of the kids that could have had the shine in the first, in it, that would have been kind of cool just to have, like, even not even like super powerful, but that would have, maybe that's what Pennywise was going after too, because when you make them fearful, it enhances the flavor.
Well, remember, it's not the fear, it's pain. Pain enhances.
Pain and fear.
It's pain and fear.
Oh, I thought
they
said pain.
They said no, it was the pain. It's pretty much like the salt and pepper for the fucking spirit. You gotta have a little bit of both. Gotta have them seasonings.
I like them separate, but that's just me.
I don't know, man. When she was digging into his fucking thigh there, that was hurting me.
Yeah.
No, when she was harming that little kid in that the fucking factory floor, in like inside that fucking mining area, that was like, oh, that's hurt. That hurts.
Yeah, see, honestly, I feel like if they had not had that pusher, which obviously they, she's a good member for that team, like that little kid would have just like hoofed it into the fucking cornfield at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all, like if I just saw a van slowing down and I'm the only one on this road, I'm like,
gone.
nope, I'm out.
Nope,
See you later, dude.
I'd be walking in the cornfield. Fuck the road.
Yeah, especially at that age, like fuck that shit, dude. No way. So is there anything you guys want to discuss? I know we kind of jumped around all our bunch here and there. Is there anything specific you guys wanted to bring up?
Yes. Did anyone else? And yes, there's a very specific reason I'm asking this. Did anyone else get kind of the vibe that Rose and the Pusher had like a girlfriend's thing going?
Yes.
I think the Pusher. I don't know, man. Rose could have just been like open as fuck because she was definitely fucking Crow Daddy as well.
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah.
was.
In the book, the Pusher, I can't remember her name. Her character was older, and they were together. They were lesbians.
I mean, I could see it because there was the one scene where they were huffing the boy's steam, and it was very erotic. Where like she kind of made out with her to give him some, but then she went to Crow Daddy, so I could see where they're just having menage a trois all the fucking time. I mean, let's face it,
Yeah.
dude. They're a bunch of fucking gypsies.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they were.
Which I got to mention this, dude. Her inside of that camper was fucking awesome, dude.
Yes.
Tough.
Like that. If that's how campers were actually like legitly made on the inside, I would actually have one again because that thing was fucking sweet.
That just looks so comfy, so cozy. I was like,
Yes,
I want that. I want that.
it doesn't feel like just a shit cheap ass camper. You're
Yeah,
like,
but she's
yep.
sleeping in that nice deluxe camper, and the rest of them are fucking tenting it outside.
Maybe that's how they want to live.
No, they all had campers.
No, they all had campers.
They all had Winnies and
I know. I
stuff.
remember seeing a bunch of tents too.
I mean, they might have had a couple of them, but I mean, they also had like there was like 3 or 4 Winnies in there and shit like that. So she just definitely had the nicest one. But I feel like she was also the leader, so it kind of, it makes sense. The chef always has the bigger quarters.
Did y'all talk about the Jack Torrance cameo already?
So we did a little bit. We mentioned how he was kind of Jack Torrance light.
Yeah.
Or definitely the C.
Great value.
Like
Great value.
like I said earlier, he was a stunt double on the original one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't use him for any direct shots, but some side shots.
Some
and shit, he
side
worked
shots,
out
yeah,
well.
definitely. Yeah.
I think the Shelley Duvall recast was a little better than him.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
It's
it's
hard
hard
to
to
do it,
resemble
though,
her. Yeah, and it is hard to, with actors like that are, it's kind of hard to replicate, but she had her moments where she kind of sounded like Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, it was like the whimpering kind of moments
Yeah,
and stuff a
yeah.
little bit. She had it. But
And there was the one scene where they're sitting on the couch and he gets up to go to the bathroom by himself to go put
the ghost in the
ghost in the box
yeah.
or whatever. From the back and the
It's a ghost
side,
in the box.
she resembled her a lot, but
Yes.
straight on, no dice. But it wasn't bad, and that's when this movie came out, I got really excited because, I love The Shining. Take it for what it is. Is it the best movie ever? No. But I love the movie so much that when I heard there was a sequel, I was like, hell yeah. I wasn't disappointed with this sequel. A lot of people were because it wasn't a horror movie per se. And there was just so many people dogging on it. And I don't have anything bad to say about it other than it being as long as it is, but it needed to be that long.
It was
Yeah.
long, but there was so much. Bro, you had to explain, like, okay, you had to have the retcon of the beginning to explain how he got the crate power,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he had to have that. And then you do have to have him kind of being a little bit of a shitbag there too, to explain his recourse and reset of his life later on and try to do the right. So like, it's all there and it does make sense. Like, I agree. 2.5 hours it's fucking still 2.5 goddamn hours.
But it wasn't a boring 2.5.
No,
Not at all.
I was completely entertained 100% the whole time and just very intrigued on where it's going next, for sure. Let's see. Well, you know what? I'm gonna pull in the Doppelganger Kangabanger and see what this motherfucker's got to say
Yes.
about this movie.
Let's hear
Oh,
it.
he actually says the man that played Jack, his name was Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas was in E.T., and he also played the younger Norman Bates in Psycho 4.
Yes, he did.
No shit. I love that you guys know this random horror shit. Like, I don't know that crap by any means. It's fucking awesome. All right, let's pull up the DKB here. Saucy Aussie.
Ooh. That's not right. Fucking
Seinfeld?
fucking idiot, folks. It's DKB back for another episode of Gore. And this week I'm here to talk to you about Dr. Sleep.
Love you,
Now I'm going to
Brody.
dive straight into
There
it,
you
keep short and sweet this week. Essentially, what I really appreciate about this film is how director Mike Flanagan was able to really capture the aesthetic of the first film and transfer it in like throughout modern day filming techniques, but really keep it grounded to the first film throughout its cinematography, its production design, especially in the last, the third act of the film when we get the actually go back to the Overlook Hotel. I thought how they were able to really capture the essence of that aesthetic with the characters and introducing new characters. And it was all summed up very well in the end, and it was a nice, neat little package to explore this mythology of this shine that Danny had in the first film that we never really got to, play with as much. So, yeah, how they were able to really take note of the first film, analyze it, and just replicate it. Not so much on the nose for the sequel, but really pump it out as a sequel to The Shining. So when you watch it, you're like, this feels familiar territory, and it works extremely well. So yeah, director Mike Flanagan. I am a huge Mike Flanagan fan. I think anything he does it's just pure gold to me. I look at his work and I'm just like, I want to make shit like that. I love the color palette to his style of the filmmaking throughout the cinematography. He just really knows how to bring Stephen King adaptations to life. I think he did Gerald's Game as well. So, and that's another really good film. If you haven't seen it, go and suss that. But yeah, when he was able to take on Dr. Sleep, this new Stephen King novel that came out, I like how he was able to really approach Stephen King about it and go, look, I know you don't like the first film, but I will be following up on that film. I mean, it can only work that way. Can I get your blessings on it? Which he did. And then Stephen King actually came out and was like, pretty surprised on how much he enjoyed Dr. Sleep and the way Flanagan was able to direct and bring that to life. So, yeah, Mike Flanagan, he's the man. He's bringing out a new series soon. So, yeah, I can't speak highly enough of Mr. Flanagan himself. I think everything he does and touches turns to gold. So yeah, talking about the mythology behind this film, I like how they were able to really capture a new angle and aesthetic with these different characters that come in and play a huge part on the film. I think Mike Flanagan does a really good job having us emotionally invested with these characters, and just while expanding on this mythology of the Shine, each character can sort of bring something new, different to the table a little bit. Like it, I don't know, it's very weird, it's different, but Flanagan really knows how to tell a story in that matter where it's like each character has something a little bit new and different about them. It's not just that they can read minds like Danny, and then they introduce this new character, which she has an element of this telekinesis. It's so forcefully powerful that it can fight off the bad guys who have this. They need to feed off the shine to keep them alive. I think it's a really fucking cool, unique, and weird idea. It's like a different take on a vampire genre, and I think it works for this type of film, and especially leading up to the third and final act for the battle that we get. It's great to see Flanagan introduce new characters amongst the older characters that we get to see, and it's just that nostalgic that I love so much about it. It's fucking awesome. So I have to admit, the Easter eggs in this film and going back to the Overlook Hotel was so fucking awesome for me personally as a massive fan of The Shining. It's so great to see all these little Easter eggs pop up, and they're not just thrown in there for no reason. Like everything has a meaning behind the Easter eggs that we get shown in the film. And I love the slow build up to each and every single one of them. It's not rushed. And it's really utilised extremely well. We capture the same cinematic shots of, Danny sitting at the bar like his dad in the first film, talking to Lloyd, which Danny ends up talking to his dad in this. And I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking awesome. And Henry Thomas' play, Jack Torrance in this was so fucking awesome. As much as I am a fan of Jack Nicholson playing him and having tattooed on my arm here, it was really good. I really want to see a prequel with Henry Thomas coming back as Jack Torrance or something, because it was so awesome, and like
give it
that
more
nostalgic feeling,
more apt to that character. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it just felt so right to actually show these and see Danny finally get the answers that he wanted, and yeah, I loved it. So yeah, I don't really want to bore you for much longer. Essentially, I do like this film. I'm very biased when it comes to Mike Flanagan, but I will admit this is definitely not his best work. It's up there amongst his best, for sure. Hands fucking down. I won't argue with that. But Haunting of Hill House is still his masterpiece to me, and apparently this new show of his that's coming out is getting insanely good reviews. So we'll soon see and find out about that. But yeah, his directing and blocking throughout the script and storytelling, how he's able to bring the characters to life, is probably my biggest thing with this film. It was great to see Danny and all them back. It's just top tier A-list acting and directing, and it works extremely well. So I'm going to give it a Gore score of a solid. I'll give it a 4.
Wow.
And this is your DKB signing out. And I hope you gentlemen have a good evening. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say. So see ya.
All right. Thank you very much. He gave that lower than The Hidden.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Hidden, he gave it 4.5.
Yeah, you're right.
Damn.
Now, The
I
Hidden
don't
was.
remember what was. Do you guys remember the final score for the Hidden?
I
don't have that one written
I don't remember.
I want to say it was like maybe a 4.2, but because I want to say I think Bob and I both gave it a 4. I think Brody gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, that part you're right.
That sounds right.
Because I don't think you boys gave us any scores. So yeah, that would be like
not.
that would be like a 4.2. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right where about it was. But yeah, thank you, Doppelganger. Doppelganger Ganga Banga. Jesus Christ.
And thank you for that lovely Seinfeld segue too, by the way.
Yes.
So that's what I was
that
telling
was
you
great.
about when I was like, did he send me the right video? Because I just saw him with a guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants to go 4.2.
All right,
okay.
change.
We will retcon that. Brody is going to go with a 4.2.
Now we got fucking another rest of the
I know, dude. I'm gonna be humming that the rest of the fucking night, dude.
Oh,
I should have like slid in.
oh, thank you.
Should've got it like Kramer.
Fucking A. Well, I'm out.
All right, that's it.
Good night, everybody.
Dude, you'll be out before we get the check.
You made some fine
All
exits.
right. So yeah, I think Brody definitely hit the nail on the head with everything he had to say. Excuse me. And yeah, man, I don't know. This movie was a solid movie. I have nothing really bad to say about it.
And you know, for it being as long as it was, there was not a time where I was bored. Where I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God,
Oh,
go
exactly.
on to the next, like, let's see what the, like, not that I was on the edge of my seat.
But I
watching
never
it,
checked my
but
phone.
It kept me,
That's a
exactly.
big thing.
It kept my attention to the movie. And
Except
that
I had to
was
pause halfway through to make dinner for the kids because Steph was getting groceries.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I'm sad I didn't get to see this in theater when it came out. But like I said, dude, I was one of those ones where I was completely clueless as that this was a sequel to The fucking Shining. Had I had known, I would have been way more adamant to get to the theaters. But oh well.
And, you know, the one scene where he picks up the little kid and puts him on the bed. I'm like, don't do it, Obi-Wan. Obi,
Well,
no,
I
don't
didn't
do it.
So we talked about that before you hopped on, and we were saying how like that was a fucking
was gut-wrenching.
heavy ass scene, dude.
gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
It hurt, bro. But what made it hurt even more was the scene where he wakes up and the mom's there in the bed with him, and she's like, they haven't
Yeah.
found us yet.
No, yeah. That's
And the
exactly
little
what it
kid-
was.
And I'm like, oh fuck, like
And
that
you know what?
hurt so bad. I was like,
My wheelhouse
damn.
wasn't even turning that fast, dude. So it wasn't until like that scene ended, and I was just like, fuck. But yeah, man,
but fuck her for being a bad mom.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, it makes you feel like it puts a disdain on him for sure.
Yeah.
But you're right. Unfortunately, no matter what you could say, he has no obligation in that scenario.
No, he
like
doesn't.
No, at
he
all.
could try to wake her up, and I think he did. She just
Well, I think she was dead already from the get.
No,
Oh,
she
really?
was
You
breathing.
assume
No,
she
no,
was
she,
dead?
she, she was breathing and moving. If you watch, she was.
Was she?
Was she? I thought she was dead already. That's why he got out of the
She was
bed
moving
so
her
no, that's because
head.
there was the puke all over the bed.
Yeah, that's why he got out of the bed.
What do you mean, well, Scoob, you act like that's a normal fucking thing, buddy. No,
I have a baby. It's puke.
No,
It's
no.
whatever.
baby
was-
puke is totally different than drunk bar or like bar drunk chick puke.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a drunk bar chick fucking story
listen,
right
Mel.
now. Sidebar, real quick. No, I've told her
Oh,
this
okay.
story before. So this is one with the ex-wife. This is an ex-wife story. So we both go to the bar and we get sloshed, right? I sober up. I'm good to go. So I'm like, okay, let's go home. She continues
boy.
drinking. We leave the bar. We're on the freeway driving home, right? She puts her head out the window and starts puking. Okay. So she's puking out the
No.
window, but the circulation of the air is bringing it back into the car, and it is all hitting me on the face. Every fucking, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? And I go, Syria, and fucking puke goes into my mouth. And I was like, oh, you fucking bitch. But it tasted like pure alcohol. Like the Tuwaka she was drinking was all that was coming out. It was fucking
Yeah,
disgusting.
that was a little bit of stomach acid. Yeah.
Oh.
It still has the smell of puke though. Like
Yeah.
it's alcohol with the smell
No,
of
it
puke.
did
No?
not. It did not have the smell of puke at all. It was pure alcohol hitting me
It
on the
wasn't sitting
fucking
there long
face.
enough for the juices to mix. Up.
I almost thought you were gonna go to a situation where, because you know how sometimes when you're like, oh man, I gotta go take a poop, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh god, I gotta throw up.
Oh, God,
I thought you were gonna have
yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
scenarios. You're like, yeah, so she's puking out the car and
No.
then she's duking on me. Well,
No, and it was one of those moments where I'm just like, yep, this is my fucking life. This is my life. Like, what are the odds that the puke would come back into the car and completely miss her, but get me all? And I'm
you
talking
couldn't
about
pull
just,
over by any means.
we were on the fucking freeway and we were like fucking 2 minutes from home, and it just. And I had long hair at the time too. My hair was down, and it was just
dude.
hair was like slapping on the. Yeah, it was. I got a lot of funny drunk stories about her. They're fucking like the one time she pissed in a drawer in a hotel. That was hilarious.
Oh, she's got a piss drawer like little kids.
She was so wasted. She thought that the drawer was the toilet.
I had a buddy like that
She
too
pissed
who
in the-
pissed on his pile of laundry, thinking he was in his bathroom because he was so fucking drunk. Bro, I'm like, what?
She
My
pissed
did
in the
that.
drawer. Hold on.
Christ.
She pissed in the drawer, walked to the fucking bathroom, flushed the toilet, and then walked back to bed.
What?
No.
Yes.
No.
I swear to God.
You know what?
I'm
I'm not
lying.
even going to claim she knew what she was doing.
I don't think she did.
I don't
She
know.
was
That's
really,
a tough
really
call
wasted.
right there.
She was a heavy drinker.
It happens.
So,
But
I don't have any funny drunk stories with Mel though, except for the one time she tried to climb a balcony.
Brody said he
Drunk.
shat the bathtub Christmas Eve.
Oh
That'll
my
happen.
God, that's
Oh God!
That'll happen.
I don't know why,
That'll
but that
happen.
one just sounds like a classic story.
All right, let's
Yeah.
get back on
There you
track.
go.
that's
Sorry.
gonna have to be a story for another time. I
That
need
should-
to hear that.
Yeah.
That needs to be
Yes.
a Christmas episode story, honestly.
You know what? That's the Christmas episode story, Brody.
Yeah, save it
So
for then.
I need Santa Claus
I
hat and
look for
everything.
these
Three more.
stories
We
that
gotta
I
wait
want
three
you-
more.
But
3 more.
I
months
want
for
you
that.
in
That's all we
I
gotta
want
wait.
you in suspenders and nothing else with the Christmas hat, though, Brody. That's what I need.
Yeah,
All right.
buddy.
So I think we discussed enough. We all like this movie. It's good time, good sequel. We were at an hour and a half. Chad Daddy, what do we got for behind the scenes, buddy?
Okay, once again, I'm gonna have to pick and choose because I got like 5 pages.
I'm sure you. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure you
Go
got a
for
lot.
it.
You know what? So Mike Flanagan painstakingly recreated the sets of the Overlook Hotel from blueprints acquired from Stanley Kubrick's estate.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
That's
A
solid.
man of
He
detail.
went all in for that. Dr. John Dalton's room, in which Danny is interviewed for the orderly position, is identical to Stuart Ullman's office, where Jack Torrance was interviewed.
Yeah,
from-
I noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
Right down to
Yeah.
the paint color
Yep.
and the little American flag on the right side of the desk.
I was
Yep.
wondering if like that was just me. Like, yo, does that supposed
No,
to
you-
look like that? Okay, cool.
Nope, not just you.
Word.
Most elements from The Shining were recreated with duplicate sets and lookalike actors, though 3 shots were reused: the aerial shot of the water and the island, and the 2 shots after it of the car driving on the mountain road. The shots were degrained, recolored as day for night, and had snow digitally added.
What about the blood elevator scene?
No. He had to recreate that, and he had to do it from a different angle because of the height difference between Danny when he was a boy and Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay, that makes sense.
Honestly, though, I love that scene in the original. I do. But that scene was to me the only one that felt almost just a little funny and almost maybe forced or something. I don't know. It felt so out of context because just the way she's walking in this frame looks over here, and then it looks like it's a completely different shot style footage, and just that, and then goes back to like this clean.
You had to know they had to throw it in there because it's such an
I
iconic.
know, but it's like I was hoping maybe you could add a little bit more of like blood rushing over her feet, and she's like, "Huh," you know what I mean? Like to involve those two in this, it just felt too much like copy and paste at that point. That was the only thing I think
She
that I
did
would
seem
ever
to
have
think it
anything
was
up.
pretty cool though. Look at her
Well,
face.
I mean, dude, I would if I was a fucking 100-year-old fucking soul sucking vampire. I was just like, huh, that's something you don't see every day.
It's still just so hard to separate elements of this from the shinning.
The shinning, oh god,
Shinning.
Quiet boy,
I'm coming to rescue all of you.
Okay, continuing on. Stephen King first got the idea for Dr. Sleep in '98 at a book signing when somebody asked him what happened to Danny Torrance from his novel The Shining. This was a question King had often asked himself, as well as what would have happened to Jack Torrance had he found AA. When people kept repeating the question, King always jokingly replied that Danny eventually married Charlene McGee, the girl from Firestarter. However, King eventually started thinking seriously about how old Danny was and what happened to Wendy and decided to find the answers with a sequel, but it was a tall order.
Yo, that would have been cool if they would have tied in.
I've never watched
Firestarter.
Firestarter.
I mean, there are a lot of elements that are.
Yeah, I mean, and that could be a form of shining,
Right? Like Shining is
Shine.
essentially some kind of kinesis, essentially, right?
They're all
Yeah.
mutants.
That's what I'm fucking saying, dude.
Abra's fucking Jean Grey.
But does that okay? So with that being said, do you have to have Shining in order to become a member of the Knot, or like could you just be human and start sucking other shine and then just become like get to that level?
Well, they did convert that girl, and I don't think
But she already had shine. She already had the push.
Shine, though.
She could do that. That's why she was a pusher.
Yeah,
But we already see the two old dudes die, and they lose steam. So that shows that everybody has steam.
Yeah.
So that being said, could you turn yourself? Could you
suck somebody's
I don't know.
steam?
right? Like
and
could you give yourself shine by doing that?
Or what if you shine? What if you sucked a shine steam?
Well, that's what they.
Would that?
Well,
give
that's
you
what they
power?
do, though. I mean, they
Yeah.
suck. It's all people shine.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were just a random human that came in and like started doing that, and it changed you like it did with the push girl in the beginning, you know what I mean? Like, would all of a sudden now you have powers? Like, essentially everybody's got it. So if all it is just the amount of level in your body to give you said powers.
Midichlorians.
Right, exactly. You just need more. That's all it is, dude. Fucking A. All right, Shaddy, sorry. Didn't mean to.
It took a lot of negotiating to get this film made. Mike Flanagan had to convince Stephen King that, despite his own distaste for Kubrick's The Shining, audiences were more familiar with this version rather than the miniseries version, and largely preferred the film to the miniseries. Therefore, this film had to be a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's classic film. Flanagan wrote the Overlook Hotel back into the story of Dr. Sleep, keeping its posterity consistent with the cinematic universe of The Shining.
Damn, dude. So he took two things, made it into his own, essentially, or one.
Yes, because
Yeah,
in the
pretty
original
much.
version of The Shining, in the book and in the miniseries, the Overlook does burn down. So that ending was reincorporated into Dr. Sleep.
I love that so much.
Hey, man, I dig it. I think they did it a fantastic way. I gotta ask though, and maybe you guys know it more than I do. This is why I really wish I watched the first one before it. Was all the carpet 100% in each scenes, like color wise and everything? Because like I feel like some of them I just couldn't remember.
It's
From what
Yeah.
I remember,
Everything was
I mean,
like
it's
100%.
like everything.
it's, yeah,
shit,
it's
yeah.
spot on.
It's not like it wasn't Ready Player One where there was like some differences.
Even
I
his
still haven't seen
tricycle
that,
is even his tricycle is
No,
the exact same.
no,
No.
the tricycle was different.
Oh, was that in the notes?
Yes.
Ooh, which gap? Let's give it up.
Now I got to hear that one.
Give it up.
It's not a radio flyer.
Well, it made the same sound on the carpet.
I was gonna
You know
say
what it is?
did.
I think
did.
I asked the carpet question just because I want to just see that orange carpet all over the place, but it's not. And I always
Yeah.
just expect
It's not. It's just in that hallway.
yeah. And I gotta say, man, the yellow in their room, like, would it really look like that even after like 50 years of just not being touched? Like, is it really gonna look like there's shit all over the walls? Like, I just think it would be super cobwebby.
Well, remember the hotel is not a normal hotel.
I mean, I think too. Like it's probably lead
Yeah,
paint.
maybe. That's true.
Yeah. It's
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find it.
if it's
No, you're
lead
fine,
paint, if it's lead paint and not a normal
I was
hotel, anything's possible.
I just always wonder about like when doing decor, like if sometimes people go too ham to try to make it look decrepit, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's 50 years
Well, you gotta
not
think, too-
used, but it's not like somebody went through and like actually sanded
But
this
it's-
shit down and everything, you know?
But it's 50 years not used in not temperature
No,
control.
I know. Yeah, I get that too.
The elements come in. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe.
I do like the line though where he's like, I got to go in and wake him up. Like that, I think is, I don't know.
Yeah.
They definitely made it feel way more alive in this.
So let's continue on. The True Knots costumes were designed with the idea that they picked up fashion from past centuries in which they lived.
Hippies,
That makes sense.
gypsies.
Hippie Highlanders.
Honestly, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have Cher's fucking song at one point, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, playing in the background. During that.
That would have been a perfect fit.
That's I kept humming it in my head every time, like their whole
And now
little
that's
band
fucking my
wagon
head.
was
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't even like
Yep.
that song.
that song, but it's still one that just sticks in your head as soon as you fucking hear it.
Continuing on, Dan Stevens, Chris Evans, Matt Smith, and Jeremy Renner were considered and met with the director for the lead role. Ewan McGregor ended up being cast with Stephen King's blessing.
See, I can't see anybody else but him in that role now.
Fucking Obi-Wan, dude. I don't know.
He just played.
I'm
it perfect.
so disappointed that when Rose finally walked in the Overlook Hotel and he's standing there with the axe, he did not say, hello
Hello
there.
there. Right?
Hello there.
At least
Missed opportunity.
somewhere. Fucking A.
Okay,
What's up,
continuing on. Halloran says Ka is a wheel, Doc. This is a direct mantra from the Dark Tower book series. It means that destiny is a wheel, and then it brings us back to the same place to face our mistakes and defeats until we learn from them.
Who is that?
I love that character
Dick-
so much.
Dick
So
Halloran.
much.
Yeah, Dick Halloran.
Wait, you said
He
he was
looks-
supposed to be a Ka?
No. He says Ka is a wheel. Ka, meaning like
Okay.
destiny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually,
it's just
honestly,
like-
I thought that recast I thought that dude played a solid, like,
Yeah. he
the
did
first time
good.
I saw him, I'm like, how the fuck did they get the original guy? He looked just like him. I'm like,
He
no,
didn't even sound like him.
he's dead. I'm like,
That
no.
is-
I do like the one call out line though that he had to Danny, where he's pretty much he's like he didn't say it, but he's like, bitch, he's like, my dead ass body's still laying in that fucking hotel because your ass. Do you think that's what he meant though? Like, do you think he meant like he had to die at the hotel, or just like, you know what I mean? Like, did he always think like he was just going there to die regardless, or was it actually because like his artery got hit?
I think it was always his intention to die there.
Yeah, you think he was just like that just tend to end it
I think.
once for all? Makes sense. Blaze of glory.
And then he comes back at the end, all like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Dude, imagine if he came back actual Force Ghost style, like he was just like slightly blue.
With robes.
Yep.
I lknow that.
But it's the over.
That's when they should have
robe.
fucking did it. That's when they should have did it, dude. They should have been like, they should have had her in her room and then her look over there and then the camera pan over and he's like, hello there.
Okay.
And he goes,
That would
yeah,
have been the
hello there.
perfect
Right at the
spot.
very end.
in his overlook robe.
Okay, continuing on. Crow Daddy's pistol holder is a Union Army cavalry's officer for a Colt Model 1860 revolver. This is a reference to the novel when it is hinted Crow Daddy was originally a tracker for the Army through the American Civil War.
Oh.
Oh,
God
like that
damn.
little detail.
Right on.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what else. Like I said, I'm gonna have to skip pick and choose.
Dude, when fucking Lurch was dying off and she's just telling him like all the shit he's done. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, but my cynical ass would still be like, and yet you're sitting here dying in a pile of dirt in the middle of the woods. You
Yeah. Fucking sucks, man.
yeah.
All the destinations listed on the monitor
You're all muffled, Chad Daddy.
God damn it.
Oh, you're good.
There you
Oh,
are. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay, so among the destinations listed on the monitor are Jerusalem's Lot and Castle Rock, both iconic Stephen King creations.
Yep.
Castle Rock. What
Yes,
was the
they
first one?
are.
Jerusalem's Lot. Salem's Lot.
Oh, okay. Okay. Salem's Lot.
After
Yeah.
building the blue hallway, the art department aged it down. After it was aged, the filmmakers thought it looked too aged and had to start all over.
I thought it still looked too aged. But
That's
just me.
dedication right there. The fact they did it. Nope. Redo
Well, that's-
the whole
Honestly,
thing.
like, I don't think the rest, it was only when they went to their captain's quarters room where it was like all yellow, like where they actually stayed.
Right.
Just that area felt like, I don't know, felt way more worn and torn than it possibly could have been, but nah, whatever. What else we got, homie?
The poster for Joe Collins Live outside the movie theater when Andy is leaving references a character from the Dark Tower book series. Joe Collins, aka Dandelo, is a creature like the True Knot, an emotional vampire, but feeds on laughter instead of fear.
What?
Interesting.
Feeds on laughter?
Kind of like Monsters Inc.
It's the opposite of Pennywise.
Does it? That doesn't sound like a bad way to go, though, man. At least you're going out laughing. Like, I don't know. Just like natural Joker gas.
Love Joker.
What else you got, homie?
The exterior entrance of the Overlook Hotel was built on a soundstage in Georgia. It was filled with fake snow, and the set was extended digitally.
Yeah, you could
tell.
You could tell, especially the fake snow part.
Yeah.
For sure. But hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I already mentioned that Andy's older and she and Rose are lovers.
Everybody's lovers in that group, dude. They're just passing each
Yeah.
other around.
It was the summer of love, baby. The number 19 features prominently in Stephen King's works, particularly the Dark Tower series.
Which I know nothing about. Unfortunately.
It was hard for me to get into.
Yeah.
But once I got past the first, I started reading the first Dark Tower book when I was in like junior high.
Now, are they books or I thought they're graphic novels too, right?
There are graphic novels too, yeah.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, I feel like I could read those.
I read the first book, and I just couldn't get into it, so I just gave up on it. And then a couple years later, I picked it up again, and I just couldn't put it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the Gunslinger, yeah, it was really good.
All right.
Okay. When Rose the Hat speaks to Snakebite Andy in the trailer, she says that Andy is a pusher. This type of power is touched upon in Firestarter, with Charlie's father pushing the taxi driver to make him believe a small banknote is actually a $100 bill.
Oh, I didn't even.
Like I said, I've never seen
I
Firestarter, so
wouldn't even-
Put
yeah,
two
that-
together.
Okay.
I was just like, "Oh shit, dude, what are they doing?"
Would have
Fucking
never
Jedi
thought.
I just thought Jedi mind trick personally. I was
Huh.
just like, "Oh, yes." You want to
According
shoot yourself?
to director Mike Flanagan, the performance of Jacob Tremblay during the first take of his death scene, that's the little boy, was so intense that it surprised and scared the other actors, including Rebecca Ferguson, who was so horrified she was stammering and couldn't get her lines out. When the scene was over, a grinning Tremblay jumped up, covered in fake blood, high-fived his father, and walked over to the craft service to get a snack, leaving Ferguson and the rest of the cast shell-shocked and traumatized.
In other words,
And
that
that-
kid did a damn fine job.
That kid went over and got some Mountain Dew and some matzo sticks, dude, and was fucking living his life. And it was awesome.
And in his mind, he said, "I'm looking at you. Fuck you."
I love the fact that he high-fived his father walking by. That was the total mic drop incident right there.
Right?
That's
You know what? He wasn't thinking about anything, dude. He had ska music playing in his head because he got matzo sticks from the fucking craft table.
dude. I'm that father going. That's my boy.
Fucking A, dude.
Okay, I already mentioned this. Ewan McGregor performed the possessed Abra scenes himself so that Kylie Curran could mimic his performance. Love that.
Which was
Yeah,
fantastic.
beautiful.
That's possibly one of my favorite scenes.
Many of Rose's accessories are trinkets from various children Rose has killed, including bracelets, hairbands, toys, and even a bicycle chain woven into her hair. Ferguson wanted to wear trophies of her victims hidden in plain sight.
That's
So where
sick.
did the hat come from? I need to know.
A magician.
I guess.
I mean, the reason why I say that is because the magician that was at Abra's party had the same similar hat. So it's like, oh, got it from a magician
Yeah.
somehow.
When Dan first meets Abra in person, she suggests that he pose as her uncle to avoid looking suspicious.
That was a fucking great line, dude.
She subsequently calls him Uncle Dan as a term of endearment. In the novel, it's revealed that they are, in fact, related. Abra's mother is Dan's half-sister, the result of an extramarital affair Jack Torrance had shortly before losing his job as a teacher.
Oh, bro, that's some fucking like. I don't need it. That would have been cool. Would it have been
But-
too much?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Would that have been a little too much?
I think it would have been too much.
I kind of like that they don't actually have a relation. I don't know.
I could take it or leave. I could have it either way. Either way, I'd be happy with
But the
it.
thing is, in the book, do they know they're related, or is it just revealed as like a little bit of backstory that
That's
isn't
a good question.
information that anybody else knows?
True. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's still cool. Like that's a crazy full circle fucking moment for sure. Interesting.
At the end of King's novel, Danny, Billy, and Abra lure the true knot to the Overlook Hotel, but it has long since burned to the ground, leaving only a wooden platform. In the film, the Overlook Hotel still stands, and everything that takes place inside is new material added by Mike Flanagan, though the boiler exploding is taken from the original novel The Shining. The book has a drastically different ending, with Dan living to help Abra start fighting her own battle with alcohol abuse as a teenager. Then it also comes out in the book that Jack Torrance had the shine too, and like Dan and Abra, was self-medicating himself with alcohol. It's made much more explicit in the book that alcohol numbs and silences the shine.
No, it
Makes
just, that
sense.
just yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
But like you said, without even going into it, like this movie definitely made me just think. I was like, well, clearly his dad had the shine too. Like even though you could kind of think about it in the first one, this one definitely like it seals the deal without actually saying it because there's
And then
no
the guy confirms
reason.
too, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the scene that sealed it for me was when he was talking to him at the bar. He's kind of indirectly kind of going at it a little bit, if you think about it.
I'm trying to think if there was something before. It might have been that. There might have been something before that was kind of just like alluded to it. But no, that was definitely the moment though, because I was waiting for when they were going to bring Jack into it. I'm glad they brought him in as Lloyd, quote unquote. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I have a lot of stuff here about the director's cut, all these scenes that were added in. There's actually quite a lot, but I will say that
I can't believe it's an extra 30 fucking minutes, dude.
but one of the things that they did cut out was the actual on-screen death of Abra's father.
I was saddened by that. That man did not need to get taken out that way.
No, he did not.
Like it makes sense of like that's how Crow Daddy got into the house and everything, and I'm glad they even went back to it because I'm sitting there asking the movie out loud. I'm like, wait a minute, how the fuck did he get into her house? Like the old man wouldn't have stopped him. Then it's like pans. I'm like, oh, never mind, he dead on the floor.
Yep. So that's
Sad dude.
that's the meat and potatoes there, guys.
Fucking
All
hey,
right.
thank you for that, Chad Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Yo, you think her old man had some shine, dude? Because he was drinking. So you think maybe she actually got it from him?
It's like a hereditary
Yeah.
thing.
That's what I would take it as.
Maybe.
But
If it's hereditary, that she would have got it from her mother because her mother is Danny's half sister.
Yeah.
yeah, but we don't know that in this.
True.
That
True.
was a
But maybe it's
what? That I don't know. I like that, but I just still don't know if that was in the movie. If it would have just been like just a little much.
That's cool. That is a little much. That's a little too soap opera-y.
Yeah, you're like this is your half cousin, twice removed. Blah 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 blah. Like all right, okay, boys. What did we watch this on? What format?
4K DVD.
Oh, nice.
Max.
HBO
That's right.
Max. I'm sorry, Max.
It's HBO. You know, it's weird calling HBO Max now because I'm like, no, Max is Cinemax to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It still is Cinemax and HBO, like in my head. You know what I
So
mean? Like,
watching on Max, like a couple months ago, I downgraded our Max to the ad version.
okay.
And every ad break, it was the same two fucking commercials.
Really?
Yes.
What were they? Were they at least good commercials?
No, it's so stupid.
Fair enough. All right. Douche of the film. Rose the Hat, dude.
Yeah, Rose the Hat.
Rose the
and
Hat.
yeah.
Fuck that.
That whole
that
true
cunt.
not that
Actually,
whole true
no,
not clan.
You know what? I'm going to go with the younger pusher that they get in the beginning. I think she's more of a cunt than
Ooh,
fucking
yeah,
Rose.
she's.
Uh,
I'm just gonna say
She
the
just-
whole clan. They
She's
all
a
have
straight
what-
man hater,
but
dude.
she had.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but
she
what
doesn't
put
have
her-
precedence, and I like.
She was Chris Hansen with powers.
Listen, I liked her when we first met her,
Chris
and Chad
Hansen.
Daddy agreed. I was like, "Yo, all right, we got a girl with powers who's using it in like a weird dark hero kind of sense." But then she goes on to start killing children, so go fuck her, dude. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
for 8
I don't know.
years. So
It's a little hard for me to pick and choose between her.
because I feel like Rose is still like trying to save her people. I don't know if that other girl would actually even ever give a shit.
So saving her people by killing children. Sorry, no. It's
Not
just
saying
as bad.
it's right.
It's just as bad.
know,
There's
man.
no.
I was gonna say shun every ancient civilization for fucking child sacrifices, bro. Fuck, dude. Our crops will grow better, Bobby.
Bobby's gotta go.
Damn it, Bobby.
He's not a virgin. That wouldn't work.
No.
Imagine if that was something with the shine, like the virgin made it taste sweeter too. That'd be fucked up.
Oh God, no.
I'm just saying.
Taste that shit.
Oh, I mean, if they got flavors, his tasted like whiskey, so it's possible, I guess, right?
yeah.
Mine would be straight up weed. It'd be like, oh man, that would be the parody. That would be the.
They start taking your steam and they get high as fuck and
That
they
would
can't
be the
finish
fucking
you off.
scary movie version of that, dude. It'd just be
Yeah.
like all of a sudden they'd be like hitting me, dude, but it would sound like a bubbler for some fucking reason, dude. But they'd be like, Jesus Christ!
And that's your shine power. That's you can never get taken because they get so high before they finish you that you're like,
bro, we don't even know what we're here for. We're like, see you later, bitches. Just leaving a cloud of smoke. Batman,
It's like, that's it. What's all our shine powers? That would be the funniest part.
that'd be fucking stupid. All right. Favorite kill.
Oh,
I think I'm
God.
gonna go Crow Daddy. I know I kind of said that earlier, but I think that I'm gonna stick with that one, dude. I think that was the most.
I still felt most satisfaction with the pusher bitch. When
Pusher,
she
Yeah, I'm going pusher, bitch.
I'm going
That's
pusher.
fine.
Also.
That's fair, man. Crow Daddy for me was more that. I guess it was kind of the scene, which led to like just that death being so sweet. Just.
Yeah.
All right. So worst moment or scene.
I can't think of
didn't do
one.
best scene yet.
I didn't. Best scene.
The scene in the room with Abra and Rose the Hat.
Oh, dude, that was fucking good.
See, I
That
was,
got scary on the opposite side, though. You know what I mean? Like it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, whoa, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know
there's-
something? I got one, and it's a scene we haven't talked about, but I think it's also another pivotal moment when it's the 8 years later, and Danny's talking to Dick Halloran, and he's telling him, "You got to do right and help this little girl, or it's going to be a bad time." Basically, because I think, to me, I like that scene.
It was Qui-Gon talking to Obi-Wan about getting a new
There we go.
Padawan.
see,
It was
Fuck!
pretty much like you got to sacrifice yourself because I did it for you.
Yeah,
It's one-
because he says to him at that point, it's like, "This is the last time you're going to see me, so you better go do right." So
Yeah.
Which I wonder why it was the last time. Like, do you only have a certain amount of power to come back and forth? I guess, or
that, or he knew
he just dissipates
what-
at the. Yeah, maybe he knows he's gonna die.
he knew that that's where it's going to go.
If you have AIDS and they suck the life out of you, you reckon it affects them?
Oh my! That's a hell of a question.
What's growing on my lip? What is
Spiritual
this?
hurts.
Fuck!
I don't know.
I'm s-
Why does it burn when I pee? What the fuck is
I'm
going
gonna say
on?
no because they can kind of self heal. So even if they got AIDS, I feel like they'd be able to like heal themselves with that.
so you got to go to someone who doesn't have it. But you have a
And
certain.
I hope they don't have AIDS because they're going after all these kids. So unless they're like fucking in some weird fucking areas, dude. Jeez.
Okay.
Okay. I was thinking the same fucking. Oh, we're all gonna burn in hell. All right.
Wait,
Worst.
We still got to do the rest
Best
of
scene.
it.
Best scene. Best scene.
I'm going to go from when they got everything in the Overlook Hotel, from there on to the end.
So like the third act,
All right,
essentially.
right on.
Yeah, basically. That or
Dude,
the
I
scene,
did love
that-
when we
that
get
or-
back to the Overlook.
that or Obi-Wan talking through Abra.
oh, that's a great scene.
Fuck, dude, that was good too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with that scene instead.
All right, I'll flip it because I went with best kill from that scene, so I'll go with Overlook because, yeah, obviously that's what you're waiting for. Especially when they start attacking Rose and their fingers are like going under her skin and shit, dude. Like, that shit was awesome, dude. All right, so worst moment or scene.
That's easy. That's the scene where when he wakes up and sees the ghost of the woman and the baby.
Yep.
Oh, that did.
That hurt.
That really did.
That hurt a lot. Like
yeah.
that. And honestly,
I mean, I guess if we're gonna go in
out
terms of like what made us feel the most, yeah, I would have to go with that one. I don't know if it was still my like least favorite scene, but
I don't have.
I'm gonna say it's the worst because it actually made me feel bad, and I didn't
Same.
like that.
But like I said, I don't know if you caught it. I felt on the same flip side, I felt good when he was with that first old dude that died because you were just like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Everybody would want that.
If I had to go with one that made me feel horrible, it's actually the death of the kid that we see, because you really hear him screaming, like these adults are taking this kid's life.
You know what? I'm gonna go with what I said earlier. I didn't like the cut and paste of Rose the Hat looking at the bloody elevators. It just felt very.
That's fair.
It just felt very non-fitting to me by any means. It's like when they're trying to film a scene of two people talking, but they never show the two people in the same scene together, and you're just like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. Alrighty, so that leads us to: did the opening scene hook you in?
Yeah,
So that would
yeah.
be
Back at
that'd
the
be
Overlook,
retcon of the OG.
the fucking-
So yeah,
Yep. The music, the fucking everything.
the music for
Yeah, fuck
sure,
yeah.
bro.
yeah. I love.
And I like that. I like the scene of him like going down the hall. They really liked playing with that naked old lady in this movie for sure,
They
dude.
did.
Yeah.
They liked her a
Sure
lot. We never got any blowjobs in this fucking movie for some reason.
No, we
There was
did
a lot
not.
of naked old lady.
And that's why The Shining is a far superior movie.
That's right. But no, I like the creepy, just him going down and closing the door while the ghost is like rising up to attack him, but then you hear her scream. And you just see him come back nonchalantly. He's like, yeah, I'm bad. Like he actually talks to
You
his
know what that
mom.
means? That means little Danny made her scream.
Yes. So, okay.
I was gonna say something about him being a Ghostbuster, but goddamn it, Bobby.
Shoving ghosts in boxes, so
That's right.
Made her scream, got her cream. Sorry, go
Aw.
ahead. Continue.
Somebody mute his mic.
Oh, come on.
I don't know if it'd really be creamy at that point, dude. It'd be like mayonnaise.
That'd be like
Dusty.
that or
Just like the
that or it's
Overlook.
like oatmeal at that point, whatever.
oh god.
You know
All
what?
right.
You know what? God.
Most. All
Damn
right, boys. Most attractive character.
Oh, Rose. I hate her.
The old lady ghost.
Okay. Nah, Rose might have been a bitch, but
Rose
she was
was
also
hot.
like, mm-hmm.
Rose was hot.
I gotta go with new version Wendy Torrance. I thought she was
She was pretty
Yeah,
cute
she
too.
was
She
Kinda
was,
sexy.
yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Ah.
I'm going Danny's mom. She's got it going on.
That's also fun.
yeah,
to say.
that's what I said.
I was gonna say even Abra's mom is cute, but she's definitely like pumpkin spice lattes and fucking white picket fences for sure, which is fine. Yeah, she's dressing like Han Solo in the fall.
She is
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rose the Hat. I feel like that's just an easy choice, dude. She's a gypsy woman. She's gonna be freaky.
she was cute. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
She's cool with me. Okay. Did the score set the mood?
Oh,
Absolutely.
God, yes.
Absolutely, especially
Yeah.
when they used some of the cues from the original Shining soundtrack. It was
And even the new music they had throughout the loved it.
All right. Best song.
uh,
Did we have a song?
there was a song playing in the bar, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't
Okay,
know,
we'll
yeah.
skip that one. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Okay, throw that one out. Next one, favorite character.
Abra.
She was good. She was a
She was cunning.
fierce thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cunning.
Fucking A, bro.
You know,
We'll go
I was
Halloran.
actually going to say Halloran too. He doesn't get enough credit, and he needs it.
I feel like we actually had more scenes with him in this one than we did in the first one. Almost.
Yeah.
Because the first one you get the tour, and then you just get him coming back at the end, right?
No, you get him in between calling
the whole
him.
scene of him talking.
Oh
Calling on
yeah, but he's not actually at the Overlook
and
at that
stuff.
point. He's just
No.
yeah.
No.
Not that he's really here in this one.
True.
Favorite character? I don't know, man. Everybody was really likable, even the villains in this one, except for that one chick. Like she just was kind of cunty. So, this is a tough decision for me. You know what? I'm gonna go Crow Daddy. I usually don't pick a villain, but I kind of liked him. He because he was there for his people for sure. Might have been, his people might have been shitbags, but that was
He
his
was there
family,
for
and that's what he was sticking for. Like that's why I feel like that scene with him and her in the van was just so like fucking awesome because he's just giving her this bullshit of line. It's like, yo, man, there was a lot of good people killed today. You lost some, and we lost some. It's like, bitch, your people aren't good. Fuck you. You fucking kill kids, you fucker. All right. So was it scary?
Not really.
No.
No,
I
but
don't know if it was.
it had some definitely moments of like,
I mean, it's got child kidnapping and child murder. That shit's scary.
Yeah, I guess.
I could see like where they're
I'm gonna say
they're
yeah,
killing
but
I'm saying like if you're younger and you're watching the kid get killed in that scene, yeah, I could see that could be a little horrifying.
I think it is scary to a degree because it's also like this world. We don't know everything about it. What is out there?
But I feel like what the scary kind of is also taken away because, like, let's be honest, everybody's got superpowers in this movie too. So, yes and no. I don't know. I guess parts. I don't even know if we should really answer this one, but does it hold up today? It's not
It's only
even
a couple years old, so
fucking
yeah.
old.
Yeah.
4 years old. So, all right. How was the acting?
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
There's not a
Phenomenal.
bad thing to say.
Cinematography, dude. This had some of the coolest
Awesome.
fucking shots in this whole movie.
Fuck yeah.
Dude,
I-
the pull away shot when Rose was in the hedge maze.
Yes, that was one of
that
my
was
favorite
fucking
ones.
sweet. Her satelliting the fucking globe and like pinpointing in on the house. That whole fucking shit was cool. Yeah, man, there was just a lot of weird. I even liked when they were in the hedge maze and they were fucking with her, and just the box was behind her, just slowly creeping up, trying to like bunch. I was like, bro, he's pulling a Pac-Man. Just walk.
I think one of my favorites is the transition from when she's in Abra's room, her hand is stuck, and then you see it literally go to her mind of that library of shit that she's got going on in her mind. I love the transition.
So here's a question for you boys, and it might be too. If he locked her in that crate, right? She's actually still a physical being. Well, how does that work? Like, is the body?
She'll probably be a vegetable.
Okay, so the body's dead, but her
Yeah, because her consciousness
like
would be locked away in that
the
box.
ghosts to me are spectral consciousnesses, so it would make sense of like why I could detain
yeah.
that. I say makes sense like that actually is fucking palatable thing. But okay, no,
We're scientists.
I don't know. That was just my thought. I'm like, yo, if they caught her in that, like it's just like she just goes limp, like she's dead.
Her consciousness would probably
Just
she'd be trapped in the box and she would be a vegetable.
Makes
fair
sense.
enough.
Which would mean she's not able to feed, which means she would transition
Right.
and then end up
I would
fucking
say
just turning into
that
smoke.
fucking they would go Infinity War there. Alrighty. So, was there any other cinematographer moments? I didn't mean to like boycott anything.
The whole
All right.
movie.
Do we like the premise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%,
Fuck yeah.
dude.
It fit.
How else do you do a sequel to this movie? I don't know. All right. Climax satisfying.
Oh,
Fuck
God,
yeah,
yes.
dude.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
back to the fucking hotel, man. Got all the ghosts back. You get to see everybody. You're like, ooh, there's the twins. And there's the fucking.
There's
You know.
Grady.
Yep. Grady and his bloody fucking head.
Great party.
All right, boys. The 4 R's. I'm sure we're all just going to rewind.
Just
this
rewind.
Yep.
Rewind.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's rate it, boys. 4.2 is what the Doppelganger Kangabanga gave us. Bobby, what do you got, homie?
Solid 5 for me.
Wow.
Listen, there's movies that I've rated that high with flaws. This is one of them. Solid 5. There's
Ooh,
nothing
Sean?
bad about it.
Sean said Rose's death should have been more brutal.
It would have been more satisfying if it would have been more brutal, but
I thought it was pretty
I
solid.
enjoyed it for what it was.
She
Yeah.
was getting eaten off of, so you know, she got her comeuppance. Alrighty, Scuba, what do you got, homie?
I am going to give it a 4.7.
7. Okay, you guys are going real high. Yeah, Daddy.
I'm gonna go with DKB. I'll give it a 4.2.
4.2.
I really enjoyed it. It's not on the same level as The Shining, so I can't go that high because I did give that a 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gave The Shining a 5. This is really good. It's very different from The Shining, but obviously still works as a series, or at least 2 movies together. I'm gonna go with 4.2 as well, I guess, because like I feel like 4.5. I don't know. It's pretty, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna give it 4.5.
All right.
Kind of where I was leading anyway. So okay, and then we gonna divide that bitch by 5. So that would be a 4.5.
All right.
4.52 for 2019's Doctor Sleep. Fuck yeah! Glad we watched that one, dude. For
Me
sure.
too.
I'm happy. I'm happy we did.
Thank you
Glad
for that. Thank you for that pick, Chad Daddy. It's
Glad.
been one I've been meaning to watch. So
What are we doing
next week is a Bobby pick. Next week we are doing Society,
Wow.
which I know actually
That sounded. You sounded way too somber, man.
I
I
know
don't like that.
Bobby, your last pick was about mutant
to be
roaches.
fair, I was gonna put that on there if Bob didn't.
I know nothing about this movie.
I haven't either, but it's one that
What
I've
is it?
always wanted to see because I've heard it's one
I just
always
remember
needed
seeing
to
it get
see.
covered a lot in Fangoria back in the 90s.
It's very bubble gummy, gross, peoply things. That's all you need to know. It's wet,
Right on.
it's moist, it's gross. Yeah.
Just
I almost thought that was my pick, but maybe it is a Bob pick. Maybe Bob chose it, so I took something else.
just the way Chad said.
Oh, you know what?
It's a Bobby pick. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a Bobby pick.
Is maybe Mayhem?
Well, remember, you
maybe I
picked
put Mayhem.
Slugs, so
What's that?
remember Bobby picked Slugs. So there you
So
go.
what? I've
this
been
my
into some
pick?
shit recently. Is that okay?
Hey, Slugs gave us that great greenhouse explosion, and I will never forget it, dude. So, no, this was a Chad Daddy pick today. So yeah, we got
Okay.
Society next week, and then fuck yeah, dude, Jason X after that.
Yeah, we're good.
Woohoo!
Fuck yeah.
Everybody needs to lay down in a bed like that one dude that he calls in the scene.
And just
Yeah, we
watch
need,
it.
we need to all hook our fucking cameras up and shit like this and be like, what do you want?
You know the sad thing is though that puts the
You son of
that
a
puts the
bitch.
nail in the coffin of our Friday the 13th fest.
It is sad, but I mean, dude, we're already in October for this year, so it's like,
We're
oh fucking A. Okay, so next week's Society. Let's see where the fuck we can find that. While I'm looking that up. You got anything nerdy, boys? I do not. So,
I have
Well,
nothing.
there is a tentative deal in the writer's strike, so we might finally be seeing some projects moving forward.
really?
Yes.
This is Society 1989, correct?
yes.
Okay, it's on Philo, Sling, Redbox for free, Plex for free, so Fubo, whatever the fuck that is. All right, so it's on a
I
have
have
Sling.
Fubo.
It's on Sling TV for
yeah,
free.
it's on a
also.
bunch of shit. So fuck yeah, dude. It's gonna be a gross one. Yeah, I got nothing nerdy, dude.
The only thing I
Yeah.
have, well,
Oh, I have.
nerdy, but it was just like released today. Miramax is now shopping around
Oh,
the
the
Halloween
Halloween
rights
rights.
for film or TV.
No,
It's now all up for sale.
stop. Just let it go to rest.
I
Let
mean,
it
I
fucking
personally think
rest,
it needs to
dude.
be at least a 5 or 10 years. It's a little too soon to begin with, anyway. Either way,
Either that,
Just do the fucking anthology series. Just do an anthology
go
series.
back, retcon ends, make it part of fucking Shamrock, Silver Shamrock, like everybody wanted, and then yeah, that shit just needs to lay to rest for 5 to 6 years, solid, dude.
I would love it if they just went back, retconned Halloween 5 and made a better sequel to 4.
Fair, never happened. Well, you know what? In this day and age, dude, I can't even say that, man.
Yeah, you
There's
can't.
been
Yeah, you
so
can't
many
say.
like
Yeah,
redos and fucking boots and everything else, and fucking hey, bro. Oh, you know what? I got some nerdy news, which we all know. Sad day for anybody playing the Evil Dead games. That shit's going to be shut down within probably a year or so.
Yeah.
Developers have completely just lost steam on it. They're not going to release any more DLCs or anything, which, you know what, man? I did enjoy the game, but if I'm going to be completely honest, and I know the homies can agree with me, the longevity just wasn't there, man.
I
needed a-
couldn't get into it really.
Yep.
It was all right. It's just
It needed a more single player, or not, I'm sorry. It needed a more story driven
Story-driven.
co op based style.
yeah.
You got to get rid of this asymmetrical fucking 1v3 shit, dude. Because you know what? I like Texas Chainsaw, but the same thing's going to fucking happen. It's actually already happening if you look at a lot of the people bitching about it and shit like that. There's already people bitching that there needs more maps and all this other shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, yeah. You know what, Sean? I'm going to agree, man. Friday 13th, for all its fucking flaws and all its fucking glitches, actually made it more of a fun fucking
There were so many great glitches in there.
Oh my god, dude! Some of the ones where you get like the random meat Jasons and shit, dude. That are
Dude,
just
that happened to me several times. It was like you'd see Jason walking back into the cabin at the end. And he's got like an eyeball here on his arm.
yeah.
dude. I had one the whole time. His mask was like in his titty, and it was like the whole part 9 face, but it was over his whole body. And it was the part 9 body. It was so gross looking, and I'm like, ugh, this looks even worse than fucking like any scarier than any other Jason, dude. But
In terms of the chainsaw, I hope it doesn't. I hope that they're like, we released it as this, but we can change it as we go. I guess we'll find out.
problem is, dude, is just it's game types like that, man. And let you, it's even with Ghostbusters. I love the Ghostbusters game, but the game's been out enough time to where, damn it, like, and I hope maybe they'll do it with the Sam Hain DLC coming out next month, but they need to add different gameplay.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, the shit gets stale after a fucking minute, dude. Even any other game that has multiplayer all has different gameplay style modes. Any shooter, anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just heard they're making a new Friday game,
Yeah.
There's it's
but not. It wouldn't.
it's not.
It's supposed to be
anywhere.
more like oh, what was that one you were playing not too long ago, Scoobs?
Mass
Nope.
Effect.
A horror game.
Dead by Daylight?
No, it was a story driven one where like
The Quarry.
Yeah, that one.
I would love for
Quarry,
it to
the
be
Quarry.
like
Okay.
that.
Oh, that'd be fucking
Yeah, that
awesome.
would
That's
be
what I heard. That's
so
what they
much
were.
fun.
The idea is trying to drive on it. I'm like, that's what they should have did from the fucking get go. Give us a story driven narrative Friday 13th game.
That would be fucking horrifying.
That's the point. That's what it should be.
That would be, but yeah, I'm saying that it'd be fucking
Yeah.
great.
I agree.
Like I said, the asymmetrical games are fun, but like, how long do they last? I guarantee I could put money on it right now. It's gonna be the same thing with Killer Clowns.
Yep.
Killer Clowns is gonna come out.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna fucking love it for a hardcore month, maybe 2, and then it'll just die off.
Yeah, because there's only one movie to base that on. How many maps are you going to get out of that?
Exactly. Anything after that would just be all fan fiction shit. You know what I mean? Just be like, yeah, whatever. We're gonna make it up.
Yep. You can have the town, and you can have the spaceship, and that's it.
Exactly. All righty, homies. I'm gonna say we wrap this bitch up. I think that's about it. Bob, you want to start us off?
This is your Killing Machine, Bobby Amone, saying we'll see you next week for Society. See you then, bitches.
This is your host with the Ghost Prince of the Paranormal, the Duke of the Dead, Lord Scuba Cabra, saying, See you next
Yeah,
week.
this is your Dark Load of Knowledge, your Chad Daddy, all the way down yonder on that Chattahoochee. And we'll be back next week
Yeah.
for Society, bitches.
Alrighty, and I am your Fluffmaster Supreme, Big Johnny D, saying adios, Gorehounds. Thank you once again for joining us for another fantastic episode. And last but not least, always remember, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Old lady dick.